from Tiger Park in the Gentilly region of New Orleans. Crescent City Sports is proud to bring you Crescent City Sports Prep Summer League Baseball. This evening, the first game of a brand new league, which we're proud to be part of, as Malcolm Denis, LLC, based at Archbishop Rummel, takes on Ponstein's Grocery, based at Holy Cross High School, which is where we are tonight. And a pleasant good evening to you. Ken Trahan, joined by Coach Dave Beaudry. Lights are on. Weather's fine. We have baseball to be played. This is the first night and the first day of the Crescent City Sports Prep Summer League, and we are happy to be affiliated with this, to be able to promote high school baseball and its kind throughout the metropolitan area. 16 teams in this league that are all school-based. And, of course, you have travel baseball going on many fronts, which takes place on weekends, which some of these programs cooperate with as well. You also still have American Legion Baseball, which has 11 teams from the state of Louisiana, including 3 locally. And we'll make sure that we are doing diligence to those entities as well, as we always do through CrescentCitySports.com. But this evening, it's Malcolm Denis and Ponstein's, and it's great to welcome Coach Dave Beaudry to the broadcast with me. Of course, Dave was part of this scene for many years in Summer League Baseball and coaching at Archbishop Shaw, at Archbishop Rummel, and at Hahnville, among his many stops. Dave, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Kenny. It's nice to be out here on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon, getting the league started.
Well, you played an integral role in helping get this league started. You helped make the schedule, first and foremost, and obviously this is something that I think schools have been going toward for many years now, and it's no disrespect whatsoever to any other entity, but school-based is what these schools want, and they want to develop players. So this is a summer league which consists of school-based teams and their underclassmen, no seniors allowed.
Correct, and I think that, if you ask most of the coaches that their 2023 season starts now, and they begin to get things in place, to be able to evaluate players and know what they have coming back next year, as well as help the players develop, on their teams that will be together again in January when they start.
Over the years, how much did you see players change between, the spring and the next fall semester? I mean, I'm sure you saw some dramatic change in players physically and ability-wise, and others probably not so much, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously physically, a lot of the programs also, use the weight room during the summer. But the big thing about the summer is because you don't practice every day and game situations come up more often, you're coaching on the fly. You're taking care of things as they happen in the game. But it's great experience, and it's a good level of competition against guys you're going to play with again next spring. But some players just make really big jumps especially going from their sophomore year to their junior year or junior to their senior year. So it is very important to be able to get those opportunities on the field.
Well, of course, these are 2 great traditional summer programs, as we've seen throughout the years. The sponsors have sponsored these respective schools for the past several years at their respective individual institutions. For Archbishop Rummel, it's Malcolm Denis, LLC. Of course, an outstanding entity financially in Metairie, located near Archbishop Rummel High School. And John Terrio and Jonathan Stoltz and the whole crew doing a great job there. Of course, you know a little bit about the Rummel summer program because you happen to coach a team that won a national championship when it was Nationwide Restoration and American Legion Baseball at Rummel.
Yes, and American Legion is a tremendous franchise, but because of the travel ball model that a lot of kids enjoy playing, and face it, these kids grew up playing travel ball. They've gone weekend after weekend since they were probably 7, 8, 9 years old. It's something they enjoy. It's something they feel like they enjoy doing, and it helps them as a player. But it's kind of a double-edged sword because the high school coach needs to see them too. Well, Legion did both of those. But over the years, a lot of programs, especially not just in Louisiana, but throughout the Southeast, teams decided not to play in Legion. One of the big things is Legion, when we won in 2006, we got back on August 22nd. We were 10 days into school when we got back. It's a long summer. We played 60-something games. Kids, it's hard to do that. And we had, dedicated kids that enjoyed doing it. And other schools have, like Jesuit in 2012 and so on and so forth. But the other model is the fact that you want your underclassmen getting ready for next season. And Legion it's hard to compete in Legion without the older kids because it's a 19 and under league.
And the summer league will consist of 16 teams playing until early July, and that's it. And I think that's part of the attraction for many of the young men who play here, because some of them will pluralize their summers. In fact, one star player for Rummel not here this evening, Giancarlo Arancibia, who's playing with an elite situation as we speak right now. He'll be back with this team when he's not interfered with otherwise, and that's kind of been what people have done the last few years, is they've tried to go ahead and allow as much possible, so it's not just a singular, in terms of singular participation for these players. They allow them to play in separate entities, and I think you'll see more and more of that. With regard to these two programs, of course, Malcolm Dinas, based at Archbishop Rummel, Raiders had a good season. They lost to John Curtis Christian, and the Patriots, of course, went on to the state championship, and they lost a 2 out of 3 series, losing 2-1 in that series. This is a very young Rummel team and a very good future as a result under Frank Cazzo in his second stint as the head coach at Archbishop Rummel. And you look at the Holy Cross program, this is a very young Holy Cross team as well. These were the 2 youngest teams in the Catholic League this year. And, of course, Holy Cross under the direction of Ryan Camelade on an interim basis right now. Ryan's a good Holy Cross man, and they'll make a decision on what's going to happen moving forward with this school and this program. But, again, young team, promise for the future with Holy Cross as well.
I think tonight, with these two teams, a lot of these young men got great experience this prep season. This is a little bit different than senior-laden ball clubs. Some of the teams are starting new today, so to speak. But these two teams are familiar, with the guys playing next to them. They didn't have a lot of seniors, and a lot of young kids got a lot of experience through the playoff season.
Starting lineup for Malcolm Dinas, under the direction of Frank Cazzo. Leading off in center field is Evan Berg. Mikey Ryan is the shortstop. Brent Centenni is at first base. The DH and cleanup hitter Shane Hurstius. Gavin Nix at second base hits fifth. Anthony Mooney in left field bats sixth. Casey Averard at third base will hit seventh. Ruben Ramirez in right field bats eighth. Lenny Klein, the catcher, hitting ninth. Berg, Ryan, Centenni, Hurstius, Nix, and Mooney. Averard, Ramirez, and Klein. And Brady Schmidt will be the pitcher for Malcolm Dinas. For homestanding Ponsteins, under the direction of Ryan Camlade, leading off in center field is Brody Forstall. Batting second at shortstop, Dominic Pellerin. Hitting third at first base, Blake Chauvin. The cleanup hitter and left fielder is Mason Smith. Batting fifth, the DH, Luca Saltaformaggio. Hitting sixth at third base, Will Andrade. Batting seventh and catching is Pierce Brodnax. Hitting eighth in right field, Chris Zerkovich. And batting ninth at second base is Ryan Blanchard. It's Forstall, Pellerin, Chauvin, Smith, Saltaformaggio, Andrade, Brodnax, Zerkovich, and Blanchard. On the mound will be Ross Klein, the right-hander. Klein is 5'10", 170, a junior. And Klein, wearing his gold cap with the navy blue jersey, white pants, and the blue stockings, ready to go against Evan Berg, the talented freshman center fielder for Malcolm Dinas. And the first pitch of the game is on the way. And that's way high. We're underway at 6:56, a few minutes early. 1-0 the count here on Berg, who was outstanding during the Rummel prep season as the starting center fielder, and just a freshman. He's 6 foot, and he can play. The pitch, Berg took it, and it's a strike called, and the count goes to 1-1 strike. I've never seen so many freshmen starting in high school baseball as I saw this year for major programs.
Yeah, and kids are coming a little bit more ready, I believe, too, they played high-level ball during their summers. And again, the teams that usually are around the longest are the older, more experienced teams. And these teams will get there in the next couple of years.
2-1 pitch is a strike called, so now it's even up at 2-2 on Berg. Ryan and Centenni to follow. Lights are on to start the game here at Tiger Park. 2-2 the count. And stepped off Klein. Now he'll toe the rubber once more. Sign given by Brodnax. 2-2 pitch on the way. That's a lazy breaking ball that stays high. So it's full 3-2. Hasn't been able to turn that pitch over yet.
No, he's leaving it up. Can't find his release point to that pitch.
Well, Berg will certainly look fastball here on 3-2. And here it comes. Outside, he walks. So Berg is on with a leadoff walk. Pretty good speed for Malcolm Dinas as Mikey Ryan will bat. The sophomore shortstop had an excellent season for Archbishop Rummel. He missed almost 4 weeks injured, but came back in time for the playoffs. Of course, he's an early LSU commit. Right-handed swinger, very good glove. Smooth in the field, they're deep around the outfield. Berg can run some. with a short lead and a swing and a fly ball hit pretty well to center. Center fielder back, track, and there to make the catch about 4 or 5 feet from the fence is the center fielder, Cody Forstall, for out number 1. Gave it a ride to the deepest part of the ballpark. It's 370 to center field here. That ball carried about 360, 365.
Mike, he got a fastball and he got his hands extended. The wind's blowing a little bit out to left. That ball wasn't affected by the wind.
Runner holding first. The batter will be Red Centenni, the first baseman. Centenni, best power hitter for Rummel this past season. He's a junior. Had a really good year. 6'2", about 195 now is Centenni. Waits from the right side. The pitch. Swing and a smash to left field deep. Left fielder back, track, wall, and that one is gone. A 2-run homer for Red Centenni. I just got it out of my mouth. Really the best power hitter in the Catholic League, and he shows you why just now.
I saw Red hit 2 balls against us when I was at Hornville in a JV game, probably right in that same spot. He's got good power to the pull side. He did a good job of keeping his nose down on the ball and drove it out the park.
So Centenni homers, and Malcolm Dinas takes a 2-0 lead. A couple of really well-struck balls in succession by Ryan and Centenni. The difference was Ryan was able to pull his a bit, Centenni was, whereas Ryan hit his to the deepest part of the ballpark.
Correct.
Here's Shane Hurstius, the DH, at the plate. Pitch is on the way. That's down a ball. Now the classifications we're giving you are the classifications at the end of this present school year. So in other words, Ryan will be a junior this coming fall, and Centenni will be a senior. This is Shane Hurstius at the plate, a junior at the end of last season. Grounds it hard toward third, booted by Andrade, and Hurstius will reach. So that has to go as an error, and a runner reaches with 1 out as Hurstius is aboard.
Took a tough hop to the backhand side and wasn't able to glove it.
Now another talented freshman, Gavin Nix, was really good for the Rummel team during the prep season. Just a good, quick hands at the plate. Doesn't look like a freshman hitter, for sure. He's a good-looking player from the left side. Takes it in the dirt. Hurstius will take second on a wild pitch. So the breaking ball just isn't there so far.
Yeah, and the Rummel hitters kind of recognize that already and are sitting back and looking for fastballs. Really, the challenge is to keep the ball down, get ground balls, let your defense play.
So runner in scoring position now with 1 out. Nix waits. Klein pitches. That's in the dirt. Nice block by Broadnax, which keeps Hurstius at second. And the count to 2-0 on Gavin Nix. It's only 295 down the left field line, but then you got that 25-foot fence out there, the Blue Monster. So it's a short distance, but that's a very tall fence to get it over. The pitch, that's down and away. So now it's 3 balls and no strikes. It's 305 to right field. The gaps are 355. Straightaway center is 370 here at Tiger Park. You and I talked about this earlier. It can play differently.
Yeah, that depending on the wind,
strike
sometimes
call.
comes
the
off
bat away, but it's 3-1.
Sometimes comes off the lake and keeps everything in the park. It's kind of a little breezy out to the left field side, but I don't think it's going to really affect balls being hit that way.
3 balls and a strike on Gavin Nix. 2-0 Malcolm Dinas here in the top of the first inning. And the 3-1 pitch. Nix hits it to short. Fielded by Pellerin. Will throw it across in time to get Nix on the play. Hurstius to third with 2 outs. And now we'll see Anthony Mooney, the junior left fielder. Anthony making his way to the plate. Excellent outfielder.
Pellegrin, a rising freshman who's gotten a lot of experience during the year, made a nice play there.
Yeah, Pellegrin's been a solid player as a youngster, playing a tough spot. In the dirt, nice block, 1-0.
One of the biggest things during the summer is because of you get rain and then it dries out and the fields harden up and it's really tough to be an infielder a lot of days. This field's in very good condition now. Took true hops on both balls hit so far.
Swinging a foul. Back to the netting. Nice catch with the bare hand of Casey Averard in the on-deck circle. 1-1. Straight away from Mooney. 2 outs with a runner at third here for Malcolm Dinas. Mooney takes it in the dirt. Boy, they've had a lot of pitches in the dirt. So Broadnack's getting quite a workout behind the plate.
Yeah, Klein's fighting to get the ball, keep the ball down in the zone because he left those 2 balls up earlier.
Yeah, Ryan just missed one, and then Centenni got one. 2-1. That's in there for a strike call. So it's even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Turned out to be a nice weather evening here. Depending on where you were today, it was a pretty strange day around the metro area with regard to rain or no rain. There's a little looper toward right foul. He just kind of poked it that way. His emergency cut to stay alive, holding it 2-2. Good hitters find a way to foul off pitches they don't like or don't want.
2 strike adjustments are so very important. So you can stay in there and you try to get a mistake.
There's a wild pitch. Here comes Hurstius for the plate, and he will score. And it is a 3-0 game. A wild pitch scores Hurstius. And the Raider lead is 3.
Breaking ball right out in front of the plate that hit the dirt.
And the count 3-2 on Mooney now with the bases empty. And 2 outs. Payoff pitch from Klein. Ball 4, so Mooney's aboard. And that will get Casey Averard to the plate. Averard, the third baseman, started at that position during the prep season. Junior at Archbishop Rummel High School. And, of course, the starting quarterback on the Raider football team as well. One of the things about watching the Rummel team during the prep season is that those arms at third and short with Averard and Ryan were plus arms, which begs the question about how good of pitchers would they be. They would be, but that's not what they do.
Of course, Casey's dad was tremendous.
Well, he's a great
Rummel
pitcher.
High School.
Great pitcher.
When I was at Jesuit as an assistant, we had great battles with Corey. And through my years at Geroy Playground, he was at Clear. He was very difficult to deal with. Threw hard and threw strikes, and he was a very, very good competitor.
The pitch. There's a swing and a fly ball to left. Left fielder back. He's near the fence, and that ball's going to be off the fence. Runner's going to round third. He's going to head for the plate, and no throw. It's a double for Averard, and it is now 4-0 Malcolm Dinas as Averard doubles off the monster and left. Left fielder Smith went back. Ball didn't have the home run distance, but it would look like it might die right before the fence, but it just got over his head.
Hit about 10 feet up on the big fence. Casey got a fastball in the inner half and did a good job. He got a little bit under it and it didn't carry as much, but he still put the barrel on it.
Now Ruben Ramirez will bat, the sophomore right fielder. And Ramirez hits it hard. Short, nice play by Pellegrin. Throw across, good play. Takes care of the speedy Ramirez to end the inning. But Malcolm Dinas putting 4 runs on the board here in the first inning on 2 hits with an error and stranding a runner. So we head to the bottom of the first and a 4-0 lead for Malcolm Dinas. So a pretty good start here for the Rummel-based team. David?
Absolutely. Just what you want to do. You get a couple of freebies with walks and be able to drive runs in. You know, that's the key to the game. When you get them on, you get them over, and you get them in. And they did a nice job of that in that inning.
So Malcolm Dinas takes the field in the bottom of the first. Mooney in left, Berg in center, Ramirez in right. It's Averard third, Ryan short, Nix at second, Centenni first with Klein catching, and on the mound will be Brady Schmidt, a right-hander who was a junior, and he pitched quite a bit for Rummel this past season. And Schmidt, 6'1", 175. Saw him quite a bit this past season for the Rummel team. Another year left. He'll be counted on heavily next season, but Rummel will be well stacked in that regard. They've got Giancarlo Arancibia, who's a standout, could be the best pitcher in that league. And then they've got Brock Bollinger, who's awfully good and coming back as well. And here's Brady Schmidt, another returning starting pitcher. So that's, as a coach, that makes you smile when you got 3 guys coming back like that, right?
Absolutely, no doubt about it. And, it just seems that the Raiders have always had arms. They've always had quality pitching and quality baseball teams as well. But just pitching, they've had those guys that start as sophomores or they move up to juniors and they become very dominant as their career moves on.
Schmidt finishing up his warm-up tosses. And here in the bottom of the first, he'll be facing Brody Forstall, Dominic Pellegrin, and Blake Chauvin for Ponstein's Grocery. Now a longtime sponsor of the Holy Cross program.
A very long time, hasn't it been?
Yeah, it really has. I mean, they were Saucer Marine for so many years.
Right.
And Ponstein's took over, of course, Grocery and Chalmette, where Holy Cross has had tremendous roots over the extent of the school's history. Here's Forstall, and there's a swing and a foul. It's 0-1. Brody Forstall, good player. Saw him quite a bit this past season as well. And Forstall is 5'11", 150, just a sophomore. So, again, these are the 2 youngest teams we saw in their league this season. 0-1 pitch. Missed away. It's 1-1.
We played Holy Cross in our tournament the week 4, and they were 11 or 12 sophomores on the field for both teams, or sophomores and younger.
Here's the 1-1 pitch, sailing high and away. So it's 2 balls and a strike on Forstall. Left-handed hitter. 2-1. Missed high, so 3-1. Forstall looking to get aboard to start the bottom of the first inning. The 3-1 pitch. That's way high. So a leadoff walk for Forstall, issued by Schmidt, and a good start for Ponstein's.
Schmidt's right around the plate. He missed just a little bit high and a little bit off the plate on 2 of the 3 pitches.
Here is Dominic Pellegrin, the shortstop. Pellegrin, of course, the 8th grader, who started as an 8th grader on the varsity team at Holy Cross. That's pretty special. Tells you about his future.
No doubt.
And he swings and shoots a base hit to center field. Throw will come to second, and he is safe. Berg charged it. But a base hit for Pellegrin and 2 on, nobody out. A good start here. Trying to answer that 4-run first for Malcolm Dinas for Ponstein's. And here is Blake Chauvin, the first baseman.
Ponstein's come out swinging on when they get a strike. They, foul the first one off, and then that first pitch fastball, he jumped right on and hit it back, line drive up the middle.
Check of the runners, pitch from Schmidt, and that's outside for ball 1. Ball and no strikes. And the pitch. That's a strike. At the knees, it's 1-1.
One of the differences you'll see in this league and the leagues around here, the strike zones are very consistent with what you see during the prep season. Sometimes when you go play in the travel format and umpires are doing 3 and 4, 5 games a day, the strike zones become a little bit too big.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a strike zone that you would be used to seeing.
1-2 pitch, just missed with the breaking ball in. It's 2-2.
Of course, as a coach, you just want it to stay consistent, and so far it has.
2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 on, nobody out. Here in the bottom of the first inning. And the pitch misses. No, it doesn't. Strike 3 at the knees. Got the call. Got the call on a pitch that might have been slightly down there.
Looked like it might have been a little low.
1 gone here. Chauvin is retired, and here's Mason Smith, the left fielder. Left-handed swinger, Smith. 5'9", 180-pound junior. In the prep season, Holy Cross lost in the opening round of the Division I playoffs to Archbishop Shaw. The best-of-3 series on the West Bank. Schmidt to the plate. That's a really good pitch called the ball. So that would look better than the last one. 1-0 the count. Just saying, from our vantage point. Catcher held on. And when catchers do that, they're telling you that's a strike, right?
No doubt.
At least in their opinion. Schmidt with a 1-0. Swing and a miss late on that pitch. It's 1-1. And we plan on having a game of the week each week on Tuesdays here of the Crescent City Sports Summer League. This is the first installment, and we'll feature as many teams as we possibly can. Swing and a miss. He's been late on both of those fastballs, and it's 1-2.
That ball looked like it ran away from him a little bit. He was a little tardy on it and ran out of bat.
So a ball and 2 strikes. Runners away first and second with 1 out. The 1-2 pitch. Missed the outside edge. And it's 2-2.
Catcher set up on the outer half, and the ball carried a little bit too far outside.
2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 on and 1 out. Here it is. Swing and a miss. So late on all 3 of those swings and out number 2. Back-to-back strikeouts for Schmidt, who now faces Luca Saltaframaggio. There's a name that's synonymous with Holy Cross High School. Luca will stand in at 5'11", 210, a sophomore. Stretch. And the pitch. Breaking ball, good one, strike call. Full disclosure, my wife and I got back from Arlington early this morning, watching Major League Baseball game last night. Went to Copeland's to see Joey Saltaframaggio for lunch today. We talked about it. I know he's out here watching because of Luca, who takes it down and in. It's 1-1. Of course, ties there to not only the program here at Holy Cross, but indirectly to Hahnville with Nick Saltaframaggio and to Destrehan as well. 1-1 the count. And another. And a swing and a foul out of play right side. So the count goes to 1-2.
When you're, as a pitcher, when you're able to lead off with a breaking ball for a strike, it puts the batter's kind of, guessing. And that was a fastball, and he was a little tardy on it.
Ball and 2 strikes. 2 on and 2 outs. Schmidt ready with the sign from Klein. Here it is. Chopper toward deep short. Ryan will have to go across the diamond. Boy, he made it look easy, didn't he?
He sure did.
Now you understand why he's so well liked. That was not an easy chance.
No.
And he had to go deep in the hole. You're thinking play in front of him at third or maybe across the body to second. Nah, no way. I'm just going to make a strong, accurate throw to first and take care of business. So no runs with a hit. 2 men stranded. 4-0 Malcolm Dinas over Ponsteins as we head to the second inning. All right, so you make a play like that. Your first reaction has to be the most important thing. You've got to get your feet set, but you really don't have a chance to set yourself when you make that throw.
No, he made it look very easy because he moved his feet into a position to move back towards first base. We call it a V cut. He made a perfect V cut and was able to, and he's got a very strong arm, and he just was able to flip it over there and make the play. Really made a difficult play look very, very easy.
So 4-0 Malcolm Dinas as we head to the top of the second inning. So that's a really good job by Brady Schmidt. He had a leadoff walk and then gave up a base hit and then just retired 3 in a row and did an excellent job.
On the leadoff walk, though, he was right around it. He wasn't missing by much, and he was able to continue to throw strikes. That's the key in the summer is to throw strikes and let your defense play behind you. Of course, it's cool tonight, but when you get those hot days, infielders and outfielders don't want to sit out there while you're throwing ball after ball. So, you want to get on the mitt and stay on the mitt and try to involve everybody.
So on to the second inning we head in a 4-0 ball game. And back to the mound goes Ross Klein. He's thrown 24 pitches. That's not Klein. They're going to go with a new pitcher. That's going to be Tyler Clark. So Clark will take over. Klein pitched 1 inning and allowed 2 hits, 4 runs in that first inning. Only 2 of those were earned. Walked a couple. That was an issue. Gave up the home run ball and had a couple of wild pitches, which was an issue as well. So now we get a new pitcher in the game. It's the right-hander Tyler Clark, 5'8", 155, junior is Tyler. And Clark will work to Lenny Klein, the freshman catcher, to get it started.
think early in the summer you'll see 5 or 6 people throw, to kind of get back into shape after the season ended. In early May. As the summer goes on, coaches will begin to extend their guys a little further. But I think gone are the days in the summer of kids throwing in the 80 pitches, 90 pitches. Get them out there, throw maybe 30, 35 the first week. Kind of ramp it up a little bit and probably top off at about 80.
There's a base hit left field, hit like a shot by Lenny Klein. He's got a really good future. This is a catcher that has a quick bat, and he can run, and he's a freshman. Klein is aboard with a leadoff single, and he'll get a courtesy runner. Here at first, as catchers are apt to do, Mason Scholl will run at first base for Malcolm Denis. Klein is aboard with the third hit of the game for Malcolm Denis, and now Evan Berg, who walked and scored to start the game, will bat. Throw to first to chase Scholl back. Looking at the prep season for Rummel, in the last game they played, they started one senior. I mean, that's it, one.
Right.
So, and that was their catcher, their all-district catcher, Josh Sterling. Pitch in the dirt, runner will go to second, and he's there. So Scholl on a wild pitch is in scoring position.
That's tough. One of the things you want as a defense, you want to keep the double play in order. You get a hard ground ball, you're able to turn two, and when they're able to move up on a free pass, so to speak, on a wild pitch or a pass ball, it makes it difficult on the defense. Puts a runner in scoring position.
Just missed there, and it's 2-0. Well, across at a good senior catcher, Colin Cure, on its prep team this year. Andrew Bradley, but then the rest of their team, all underclassmen. So these,
Correct.
Again, the two youngest teams. That's close again, but missing, and it's 3-0. So one team losing 2 senior starters, the other 1. Like to coach those teams.
Yeah. Like I said, they'll use the summer to kind of polish off what they began in the prep season and be ready to go in January.
3-1 now. The strike call to Berg. Runner at second with nobody out. That's Scholl. Berg takes it way high. So he's walked for the second straight time. And that gets the dangerous Mikey Ryan to the plate, who flew out to very deep center in the first inning.
I think a lot of times pitchers do, and Clark trying to maybe do too much, try to overthrow, just worry about getting his nose down and locating the ball instead of trying to throw it harder.
Here's Ryan, who takes a fast strike. He went after the first pitch last time. This time he takes a strike, and it's 0-1.
Good pitch on the outer half. Good pitcher's pitch on the outer half.
No balls and a strike on Mikey Ryan. And the pitch down, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Most hitters are looking middle and in, fastball middle and in to start the at-bat. And as the count goes away from them, they expand it out towards the outer half of the plate.
1-1. Swinging a foul right side. Will be out of play, and it's 1-2.
Mikey was right on that pitch. Just kind of got a little deeper than he wanted.
Ryan shoots a line drive base hit to left. Ball hit too hard for the runner to score, so he'll stop at third. Quick bat.
Yeah,
he rips one to left.
Kind of a hanging breaking ball. Not exactly where the pitcher wanted it.
So the bases will be loaded with nobody out. And guess who? Rhett Centenni at the plate, who homered over the Novachev sign in left center field his first time up.
You have to hope now for a hard ground ball, maybe get 2, even if you give up a run here. Limit the damage.
Swinging a foul back. He had a cut. It's 0-1.
Yes, he did.
No balls and a strike. 4-0. The lead for Malcolm Denis here in the top of the second. Trying to extend that. A good block there.
Good job by the catcher.
No doubt.
On a breaking ball down.
Ball and a strike. Scholl at third. Berg at second. Ryan first. And Centenni Took it up and in. 2 balls and a strike. I like the pitch, though. You've got to claim that inside edge against him. Otherwise, he'll lean out and use that power at all fields. Swaps it to short. The play will be to second. 1 back to first, and that's not in time. So it's an RBI on the fielder's choice to make it a 5-0 game. Centenni has a 3 RBI game.
Really wasn't a double play ball. It was hit more up the middle. Second baseman did a nice job of making the pivot that Centenni was able to beat the throw.
So here's Shane Hurstius with runners at the corners and 1 out. He reached on an error and scored a run his first time. Look out, way high, and it's 1-0. Actually turned out to be a pleasant evening here.
Certainly is.
I mean, I was in Austin, Texas for the weekend. It was 100 degrees there, and it felt it too. That's down. It's 2-0. But now a runner for second, and he's there. So
delay steal. Trying to draw a throw to get the runner from third home, but
didn't take the bait. Centenni's at second. And a favorable 2-0 count for Hurstius, who swings and fouls it off the catcher's gear. And it's 2-1.
Holy Cross is elected to play the infield in. Again, situations come up in the summer. It's a little more relaxed. You get to work on, different things that in the prep season you may not do.
2-1 pitch. Look out. That's over the head of the catcher, but the runner at third will hold. Wisely, that ball carried back toward Broadnax. And it's 3-1. And this is a place, this ballpark, that has a brick lower fence behind the plate. If it hits that, it's going to carry him wildly. But that one got the netting.
Yeah.
It was that high, and it came right back toward the catcher. 3 balls and a strike. The pitch. Swinging a foul tip into the mid. And as a coach, you have to know where you're playing to understand what to do with that runner at third in that situation. Because these ballparks are all different with the space behind home plate, the surface, the wall itself. All of those things factor in.
Yeah, even if you have a pad.
Hurstius has popped it up. This is playable on the infield. Who wants it? The second baseman, Blanchard. He's got it. Big out there to keep the runner at third. Now 2 outs. But you were saying about
one of the things you teach your runners at third is you move your feet towards the plate and you keep your eye on the ball. If the ball comes back towards the catcher, you stop and you sprint back to third. And most of these teams do a great job of that. You kind of know when you walk in the park, can we score on a pass ball? Can we score on a ball that's in the dirt? And largely you can, but you have to watch, like you said, for the cameraman, when it's a brick wall, even if it's padding, some of the paddings are hard as rocks, the ball comes right back towards the catcher, and the runner at third has to, put the brakes on and dive back into third.
Swing and a miss. It's 1-1 here to Nix. Grounded to short his first time. 1-1 the count. Another on the way. Swinging a little tapper foul behind the plate. Nix in the hole 1-2. As Clark tries to minimize the damage here.
Clark has come back and made good pitches to the last 2 hitters. That was a very good pitch on the outer half. Kind of ran away from him. Was able to get a piece of it. You did all that work to, just give up one. You really want this out to get back in the dugout and have your team swing the bat.
Now the 1-2. Missed away. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Base hit here is a backbreaker. When you bases loaded, 1 out, you get out of only giving up 1 run.
Down a ball. So now full 3-2 with runners second and third. Yeah, it'd be very important for Ponsteins to get out of this, whereas Malcolm Dinas can break this open with a base hit from Nix.
Yes.
3-2 the count, second and third, 2 outs, and the payoff pitch on the way. And a swing and a miss. Good pitch down in the zone gets Nix. Inning is over with a run across the plate on a hit. No errors and 2 men stranded. Malcolm Dinas has left 3. We head to the bottom of the second, and Malcolm Dinas leads Ponsteins by the score of 5-0. And today's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner. Lamarck Ford, the #1 Ford dealer in the Metro New Orleans market, Must be a reason. I was there today, returning a rental vehicle, and appreciate the people as always, how they treat you. And again, our prayers to the Lamarck family with the funeral of Tommy Lamarck this past weekend. Well, I knew very well, and good man and wonderful family, and we continue to keep the Lamarck family in prayer. So it's on to the bottom of the second inning, and a 5-0 lead here for Malcolm Dinas. And here in the second, it will be Will Andrade, Pierce Broadnax, Chris Zirkovich for the Holy Cross-based club, Ponsteins. Throw down, and we're ready to roll here in the second inning. Brady Schmidt with 20 pitches in the first, 11 strikes and 9 balls. He walked 1, struck out 2.
Did a good job once they had the first 2 runners on. He did a good job of bearing down, keeping the ball down in the zone, making the hitters hit his pitch.
So here's Andrade, third baseman. First pitch and a swing and a foul. It's 0-1 to Will Andrade. Left-handed hitter waits. Schmidt the sign from Klein. He kicks and fires. Swing and a foul again. A little bit late on both of those. Fouling it to the left side. It's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch on the way. Outside a ball. A little bit of a crosswind here this evening. Toward the left. 1-2 the count. It's not much of a factor, though. On the campus of Holy Cross High School. High and away. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. This, of course, is an awfully impressive campus and a beautiful story. Rising from the devastation of Hurricane Katrina in the lower ninth. This is way outside and low. So from 0-2 to 3-2.
Schmidt's trying to work the outer half with the left-handed hitter up, and that ball just got away from him a little bit.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Missed it, so ball 4. So a leadoff walk for the second straight inning issued by Schmidt. And that can't make his coach very happy after being 0-2. That had to drive you nuts as a coach.
Yes.
You get a guy 0-2 and you walk him, right?
Yeah. You know, especially leadoff hitters, you want to get that first out.
That will bring Pierce Broadnax to the plate, the catcher. Broadnax swings and misses. He was tied up on that one. Yeah. Broadnax at 5'10", 180, a junior. Right-handed hitter. Oh, 1, and he hit him. So a walk and a hit batsman. 2 on, nobody out.
That ball ran in. It was similar to the 2-2 pitch to the last hitter. It just, you know, he kind of overthrew it and it ran back in. That time with a right-handed hitter, he just stood there and took it.
For the second straight inning, he's put the first 2 on base. Holy Cross couldn't do anything with it, or Ponsteins in the first. Let's see if they can do so here. Lenny Klein goes and has a word with his hurler. Chris Zirkovich, the right fielder, will bat. And we'll see how they play it here with first and second, nobody out.
You might look to move the runners on via a bunt or something, even though it's a 5-0 deficit. You want to get on the board and chip away at that lead.
And it's early in the game.
Correct.
He is going to bunt, and he bunts it foul behind the plate. Toward us, it's 0-1.
It's becoming, unfortunately, a lost art. Kids don't spend the time bunting. That he did a good job. The ball just came off the top part of the bat, but you really got to get your nose down behind the barrel.
In the dirt, nice block by Klein in front of the plate. It's 1-1. You had the pleasure, and I saw it all year long, of seeing a young man that is a great bunter from Holy Cross, Brian Broussard for Delgado.
Yes.
It's just a fantastic bunter.
It's such a weapon, especially with first and second. If you can get the ball on the third baseline, you have a chance to be bases loaded with no outs.
1-1 is a fastball, I guess, high. Pretty good-looking pitch. It's 2-1.
The third baseman's hanging back by the bag, and as long as you keep it from the pitcher and the pitcher able to throw it to third, you're going to have a good chance of beating it out.
2 balls and a strike, 2 on, nobody out. That call is there, and it's now 2-2. At the knees on the corner. Doesn't seem to like the high strike, but definitely likes
the low strike.
2-2 the count.
And again, as a coach, if it stays consistent, you're good with it. You have to get your pitches and get the ball down in the zone.
Ground ball right side to first. The play will be to second, and he hit the runner. Everybody's safe. Runner will score, and it's 5-1. Well, there's a play where you've got to be inside of the runner, and let's hope the runner's okay. He got drilled. Get up. You got to be able to get clear of the runner to make that throw. With a 5-0 lead, you might just want to take the play at first, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he had the out. He just has to clear a lane to throw. He threw right behind him.
Threw right behind him.
I think it hit him in the back of the head. You do want to you don't mind trading outs for bases there, but he was fielding the ball, going to his right, going towards second base, and he made the right play. It just not the execution that he was looking for.
So that will go as an error, a fielder's choice and an error on the first baseman. And still nobody out, a chance for a big inning for Ponsteins as a result. Good news is the runner gets up and he's okay, and that's certainly good news for Broadnax, or the runner who's out there as I speak right now.
Yeah.
Check and see who that is. That is number 2.
I believe.
So that's Aaron Guichard, it appears, who's the courtesy runner. So it looks like Guichard. That's good news for Guichard that he's okay.
The ball hit him right at the bottom of his helmet.
Mm-hmm. So now first and second, nobody out, a run home. And Blanchard bats. Walker batter, hitter batter, then an error. That's the makings of a big inning. Pitch to Blanchard, and that's down and out, ball 1. Now the 1-0. That's a strike, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, the bottom of the zone is where the umpire would prefer the ball.
That's clear. Consistent to this point. Ball and a strike. Schmidt delivers. Breaking ball sits high. 2-1.
More of a slider than it is a 12-6 breaking ball. It comes across. Kept that one up.
2-1. That's in the dirt. Nice stop by Klein. It's 3-1.
One of the things when you're down 5-1 and it's early in the game and you have no outs, you really want to make sure that ball gets past. You don't want to run into an out on the bases. Let your hitters give your hitters a chance to drive you in.
3-1. And a swing and a ball hit to short. Play to second 1. Back to first and 2. So the Twin killing 6-4-3.
It's going to be a triple play.
And they're going to throw to third. The runner is caught up.
No,
He didn't run.
he doesn't have to. He's safe now.
He's safe now.
He's not.
No, he's safe. The runner's
the force
there.
is off.
Force is off in that situation. So
they got the out at second, and then the runner from going from second to third went back to second
went
base.
back to second base.
And
So
he's
it's a
safe.
double play, and the runner ends up at second, the lead runner. He went back to the bag. You don't see that very often.
I think he thought the ball was a line. It was a looping line.
Looping
drive,
line drive rather than a one-hopper.
and he lost
Had to.
sight of it. And when Ryan picked it up, he threw it to second, got the force, and then he ran directly back to the base, so he's safe at second.
You see everything in baseball if you stick around long enough. I don't know that I've seen that.
I can't remember.
I don't know that I've seen that. Again, the lead runner at second goes back to the bag after they got the out at second on the force initially. and then they turn it over for the double play. He goes back to second. The base is unoccupied, so he has that bag safely. So he's there with 2 outs, and here's Forstall, who walked his first trip.
And honestly, it was pretty good by the runner just to stay put. With all Rummel was trying to get the force at third, which was no longer available to him, and he just stayed on the base, and now he's in scoring position with 2 outs.
Pitch missing down, 1-0 to Forstall. The 1-0 pitch sits high, 2-0. And the 2-0 missed way outside. So 3-0 to Forstall, who will certainly take a pitch here.
That's the one thing about summer baseball. You just saw a play that rarely ever happens, but it's a teachable moment for your kids to make sure that both from the standpoint of the runner and the fielders, what do you do in that situation?
Right down the middle, 3-1.
How do you handle it? And, I mean, honestly, defensively, they handled it the best that they could. The runner, obviously, he didn't do exactly what he was supposed to do, but he was able to stay safe at second.
3-1. Swinging a foul. It's full 3-2, which means that we're full at 3-2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. 5-1 lead for Malcolm Dinas. Opening day of the Crescent City Sports Summer League. Do a payoff pitch to Forstall from Schmidt. And here it is. And a swing and a foul back. Schmidt uses that very high stretch position. I've had many of my analysts who are pitchers who really like that position. Talking to Kirk Bollinger and Kenny Forsang. They both like the high stretch position as opposed to the belt area stretch position. Thought process is if you're in a high position, you're going to be coming from that slot anyway.
Correct.
Whereas when you down, you got to bring it back up. Another payoff pitch, and he walked him. So, second straight time that Forstall's walked. Both teams struggling with command. That's 3 walks and a hit batsman already by Schmidt. And here's Pellegrin, who singled sharply his first time. He'd like to do the same here and draw his team closer.
I just think in the summer it's different schedule and during the day. Pitchers doing the prep season know when they're pitching. They had no days in advance.
There's a swing and a pop-up into short left center field. Long run, everybody. Who's out there? Center fielder, shortstop. Ryan turns and makes the catch and made it look easy. And yet, boy, you kind of thought that was an outfielder's ball, didn't you?
Yeah, Mikey looked like he gave up on it and looked up, and he was able to stick his glove out. He covered a lot of ground to get there, though, and the center fielder would not have gotten there. So it was a very good play. In
retrospect, with 1 run in the inning on no hits, no errors, and 2 stranded, that's 4 left for Ponsteins, and we head to the third, and it's a 5-1 lead for Malcolm Dinas. So Schmidt has struggled with his command thus far, Dave, but he's limited the damage with just 1 run. Yeah, he's made pitches when he's had to. Getting behind hitters and is really not conducive to having short innings. He's threw 20 in the first inning and quite a few pitches in that inning. You want to make sure you pound the mitt. Again, especially in the summer, you want to throw strikes. It's you want your strike percentage to be somewhere around 65 to 70% to keep your defense in the game and not limit the other team's opportunities to get freebies and have runners on base. Right, he's thrown 47 pitches in 2 innings, which is a pretty tall number. And we're going to get our third pitcher of the game for Ponsteins is Cole Killian will take over, a junior. Killian will pitch in the third as the third pitcher in as many innings for Ponsteins. Clark went 1 inning. He allowed a run on a couple of hits with a walk after Klein went the first inning. Again, early in the summer, I think you're gonna, now depending, every coach has his own way of doing it, but you're gonna see a bunch of arms in the first couple of games. Kind of get them back on the mound, ready to go after a long prep season.
Because even if they didn't play varsity, they pitched in JV and freshman and whatever. So they've probably thrown quite a few innings thus far.
Warm-up tosses for Killian complete, and here in the third he'll face Mooney, to be followed by Avrard and Ramirez. Ken Trahan with David Beaudry from Tiger Park here in Gentilly, near the lakefront, where this beautiful campus is located. It's a very high-volume area for high schools. You've got John F. Kennedy High School a couple of blocks away here from Holy Cross. You've got McDonough 35, St. Augustine, and Brother Martin all within a mile or two of here as well. So it's a very densely populated high school region of New Orleans. Here's Mooney. Walked and scored in the first inning. First pitch to Anthony. And that's a strike call. A little three-quarter arm action here.
Yeah. I tell you, a lot of hours were spent at that baseball field at the old Holy Cross. It was quite a park. It was, the dimensions were odd. The teams that you played at Holy Cross were always very fiery
Swinging
and
a foul.
competitive.
Out of play, it's 0-2.
And big crowds.
Well, it was a sanctuary. It was quite a campus.
It was.
I always enjoyed going there as a youngster and through my high school days, a rival school, and then when my daughter was a captain of the Carmelettes, dancing for Holy Cross, was on the campus very frequently. 0-2 pitch on the way. Tap foul. And, of course, the devastation of Hurricane Katrina, and I told this story many times. I went to speak on campus about a year and a half after the storm, and the population was probably one-third of what it was previously. And I told those young men in that class, you're the reason this school's going to survive and thrive.
Yes.
One of those young men that was in one of those classes came up to me recently and said, I heard you speak that day, and this is years later. He said, appreciate what you had to say. And I said, well, I meant it. And that's why you see what you see today. Strike called. Mooney gone on strikes, one out. Good pitch by Killian. Now Casey Avrard, who doubled off the Blue Monster to drive in a run in the first, will bat with the bases empty.
Killian with the sidearm angle keeps the ball down, has a nice little run on it. That ball actually started outside and ran back over the back corner of the plate for strike three.
Right. Certainly left-handed hitters will have a much better look at him.
Yes.
Facing a lot of right-handers right now. Pitch to Avrard. Swing and a miss. He's out in front of that off-speed breaking ball. It's 0-1.
Excellent pitch down in the zone.
Avrard stepped out, gets back in.
As a right-handed hitter, you have to be dedicated to try to hit the ball in the right center field gap against this type of
Right.
pitcher.
You need to stay back. It's not going to come hard.
No.
Stay inside the ball and try to take it the other way. Left-handed hitter's different story. On 0-1. Taps it toward third. Throw to first. Got him. And Dre takes care of Avrard for out number 2.
It's a tough matchup, already having an at-bat against a different type of pitcher. This is certainly, with the arm angle and the run and the breaking ball, a tough challenge for right-handed hitters.
Is Ruben Ramirez grounded to short his first time. 2 sports stars, speedy wide receiver in football. For Coach Nick Monica, the former baseball coach at Archbishop Rummel as well. Stretch pitch. Down and out, ball 1. So Nick changed the cap for a helmet, if you will.
Yep.
Succeeded you at Archbishop Rummel, and he's done an excellent job with the football program as well.
He and Brady Benoit, when I was there, were tremendous assistants. They were tireless workers, knew the game well, got along great with the kids, motivated the kids. And when Nick first got to us, I saw the great potential, of course. It's kind of in his family genes as well.
No question. Well, there's that pitch we're talking about around the letters called a ball. And he's not giving that high strike. And it's 2-0 to Ramirez. And here it comes. Down and out. So it's 3 balls and no strikes. That's why it's amazing to see the combination, like Wayne Stein doing it both in football and baseball at the same time. That's incredible, frankly.
Absolutely incredible. And Wayne, he and I have had so many conversations about summer baseball, and one of his big things, obviously, was he
Ball
coached
four.
both sports, and they have a bunch of players. And I think now in high school sports, you're seeing more and more kids coming back to be two-sport players. And specialization, everybody tells you it's not something you want to do, especially in baseball, using your arm and throwing so much. But football obviously is in full swing in Louisiana during June and July. And, kids are going back and forth from the weight room, 7-on-7 to baseball and so on and so forth. Find a way to have a happy medium. And I really think this league is going to be that for them. It's the month of June, and they'll have football players will have at least a week or two off before the season gets in full swing in August, and coaches as well.
Right. Well, that's a young man at first base right now who's a receiver on the football team. That will mean a lot to him. And Avrard, whom we saw previously, will mean a lot to him.
There's no reason why kids can't play more than one.
Throw to first, runner back.
And, of course, at smaller schools like St. Charles, they probably have some that play all three or four, so it can be done. It just the adults have to make sure they set it up correctly for the kids to, take full advantage of it.
Through to first, the runner was standing on the bag. Ramirez is laughing. Now, he's probably the fastest runner on the team, so they're going to pay very close attention to him. Has a lead. Pitch on the way. Good pitch for a strike call. To get ahead of Klein, who singled sharply to left his first time. Lenny waits. And Ramirez leads. And Killian from the belt and throws the first. So this is exactly the opposite stretch position that we were speaking of earlier. Is he has that stretch position down low, right around the belt area.
And coming from the sidearm, he even picks from the sidearm, but he did a good job that time of varying his timing from the other pick. He picked quick, he held that one, and the runner looked like he was going, but he was able to hold it, and throw over.
There he goes. Pitches down and out. Throw from the knees, and we'll never get him. Too much speed.
Yeah.
So Ramirez outruns the ball. He's at second with 2 outs. He knew he was going to run with 2 outs.
Yeah.
Broadnax did all he could. He knew he didn't have time to catch it, rise, and throw, so he just threw from his knees.
Right. I mean, a lot of times coaches use stopwatches to find out exactly how long it takes the pitch to get from the pitch to the catcher, and they dictate their run game on the speed of their player. But
breaking ball missing high, 2-1.
Certainly he had that bag stolen pretty easily.
Second steal of the game for Malcolm Dinas. Now Klein with an RBI opportunity with 2 outs. Trying to add to his base hit of earlier. And here it comes. Good pitch, strike call. And it's 2-2.
Leadoff walks and 2-out walks always seem to get around the score. It just the way the game is played. It's you get 2 outs rather quickly, and then you walk someone, and all of a sudden he's at second base with 2 outs and an opportunity to drive him in.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second. Here it is, outside. So it is full 3-2 on Lenny Klein. 5-1. Malcolm Dean is here in the 3rd inning. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the decision pitch is on the way. Down and out, ball 4. Good at bat for Klein. He's on for the 2nd time. Back-to-back walks with 2 outs issued by Killian. And now Evan Berg, speaking of walks, he's batted twice, walked twice. Scored a run. We'll get a runner at first base. That's Mason Scholl will run at first for Klein once again. Here's Berg. Coming off an excellent high school season as a freshman. Earned a starting job pretty early on and never gave it up. Pitch to Berg. He took a strike. It's 0-1.
Good job. Get ahead of the hitter. They have to walk in the last 2. You want to make sure he hits your pitch. Don't want to leave anything over the middle of the plate with first and second and 2 outs.
Stretch, check of both runners, the pitch. Outside, it's 1-1. 1-1 the count. Swing and a miss. Chase that one down and out. 1-2.
Good breaking ball. Started over the plate and died to the outer half.
One and two the count.
Sometimes with 2 strikes, you see the runner from second break to third to try to draw a throw. Yep, there he goes.
Missing away, throw to third. He spiked that, safe. So Ramirez takes third. The runner at first did not go. Coach is talking to him right now. And the runner's got to pick up on that, right, David? I mean, he's got to pick up on that of his own accord.
A lot of times, though, the runner at second, is you put him in green light on his own, especially someone with speed like that, the runner at first.
Right.
If he doesn't go right away, because some teams will throw behind. They'll throw to second base. It's an easier, clearer lane to throw. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to get that guy to third to draw a throw that can get past the third baseman, steal a run, so to speak, with 2 strikes on the hitter.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 outs for Berg. Killian trying to get out of it, pitches. And a ground ball is short. Pellegrin goes down to a knee, throws to second for the force to get the lead man. Inning is over. No runs in the inning. And no hits, no errors, 2 stranded. That's 5 left for Malcolm Dinas. Bottom of the third coming. Malcolm Dinas on top of Ponsteins by the score of 5-1. And we remind you that today's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by Ochsner Sports Medicine Institute. Get the same sports medicine care that the pros receive with minimally invasive treatments and quicker recovery times. Visit oxnard.org/sportsmed to learn more or schedule an appointment near you. Still 5-1, Malcolm Dinas on top.
If the runner from first on the previous steal went to second, that would have been a tough play for Pellegrin playing deep. He would have had to throw across. Of course, he was able to take the short play there. Something Coach Cazzo will probably talk about. As the trail runner, and when he breaks, you need to break and try to get in scoring position.
Schmidt back to the mound to pitch in his 3rd inning. And he's had to work hard. 47 pitches in 2 innings. He's walked 3, hit a batter, struck out 2, so he's flirted with trouble from the get-go, but has limited the damage to just run to this point in time.
I mean, the one thing Holy Cross is missing is that big hit, get guys on base and, hit a ball in the gap to move the runners. It's, they've set the table well. They just haven't come through with a big hit. And they've done a good job of staying in the ballgame, putting up a 0 there after 2 quick outs and 2 walks.
Blake Chauvin is going to lead it off. Struck out looking back in the first as he bats here. Leading off the bottom of the 3rd inning. What has been a relatively slow-moving game to this point. First pitch from Schmidt. Down and out. And it's been slow-moving because pitchers have not had command in this game.
Correct.
And that's been the story thus far. We've seen 5 walks from Ponstein's pitching in 3 innings. This is high, and it's 2-0. We've seen 3 walks and a hit batter in 2 innings from Malcolm Dinas pitching. And behind 2-0 here. And hard to defend when you can't throw strikes like this, 3-0. And always working out of the stretch
that
as a result.
Yeah, that's a big thing. A lot of pitchers don't throw as well or don't command.
That's ball 4, so a 4-pitch walk. And yet another leadoff walk. That's 3 straight innings. He's walked the leadoff man. You can't get away with that for very long.
Yes.
Batter is Mason Smith.
Some pitchers don't throw as hard maybe from the stretch. They don't use their legs as well. So, you know, obviously you want to not let leadoff hitters on so you can stay in the windup longer. Of course, on the other hand, some kids just throw from the stretch.
Strike call.
That's what they've learned, and that's what they've stuck with. And you know, those guys are usually pretty good at holding runners as well as being quick to the plate.
Well, it's less movement,
Correct.
So it's easier to control your movement. That's high. Flew open there and is a little bit quick with his delivery, and it's 1-1. Of course, it's easy to see sitting here and watching.
Sure.
Ball and a strike. Runner first, nobody out. Pitch. That's a strike. And it's 1-2. Malcolm Dinas has turned a double play in this game. They look for another here. And now the 1-2, missing high and away. We've seen pitchers that have struggled to be able to throw their secondary pitch thus far in this game. That's pretty much been the story. Everyone that's taken the mound. 2-2 the count. Swing and a miss. Threw the fastball by him. Strikes out Smith for the second time. 1 out. And now Lucas Saltafamaggio, who grounded to short his first time.
Good pitch on the outer half. Ran away from the left-handed hitter.
Here's Luca, runner at first, 1 out. And here's the pitch. That's the breaking ball that he can't seem to get on top of. It's 1-0. Every breaking ball he's thrown has been up.
He's kind of pulling it across his nose instead of getting extension towards the mitt.
The 1-0. Got on top of that pitch beautifully. Strike call.
And again, as a coach, you're looking for just consistency. You know, being able to throw your fastball in both sides of the plate down in the zone and then have something to go with it.
Now the 1-1. Breaking ball left it up. It's popped up. It's on the infield. Ryan looks like he's got it. He's there. Puts it away with 2 hands. 2 outs. Saltafamaggio retired by Ryan for the second straight time. And now Andrade, who walked and scored the 1 run for Ponsteins. That came in the second inning. We'll bat here with the runner first and 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the third. 5-1 lead for Malcolm Dinas. Quick throw to first. Diving back in. Chauvin. Schmidt trying to catch him. Relaxing. Pitch on the way. Swinging a ground ball to second. Gobbled up by Nix. His throw is true, and the inning is over. So again, the leadoff walk, but Schmidt once again able to work around it. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. That's 5 left on. So each team has left 5 on base, David. So both have had chances with base runners in this game.
Yes, you know, coming up with that big hit. That's the thing. Especially Holy Cross has been searching for. They get runners on, you know, being able to move runners and then drive them in with a big hit. Again, it's early in the summer, and guys maybe took some time off and started practicing maybe a week ago. You'll see the offenses pick up, and I think you'll see the pitching as well. You know, being able to throw your breaking ball. Your second outing out after taking a break is always better than your first. And Schmidt's had giving up 1 run and 1 hit in 3 innings, but he definitely wants to limit those walks.
So here in the 4th inning, Jake Gegenheimer gets the ball. So we've seen Klein for 1, Clark for 1, Killian for 1, and now Jake Gegenheimer becomes the 4th pitcher of the game in as many innings. Gegenheimer, 5'11", 160, a sophomore. So 1 inning pitch for Killian. He struck out 1 and he walked 2. Did not give up a run. Pitched out of a jam last inning. And now Gegenheimer takes over.
And other action in the league, the John Curtis Patriots defeated Newman 13-4.
Yeah, they did a solid job in that game, and that was, just to give a couple of notes from that one, Cameron Romano was the winning pitcher. Austin Ackle had a double and 2 RBI. Cyrus McClinton had a double and 2 RBI for John Curtis. Their prep team, of course, reached the state championship game again this season. Jeff Curtis doing an outstanding job with that program. They play so hard.
Yes, Jeff does a tremendous job in both sports, obviously, but And he and I have also talked a lot about what's the best thing in the summer. And he had a great point. He goes, give me 10 or 12 games and I find out what I need to know. And so, you have various different opinions on the best way to do it. And I really think that this league it's going to be competitive. It's going to be very good teams. And, of course, really good umpires, good parks, and it's what you're looking for.
Well, it's tough when you're a hitter. You look to see a pitcher and what he does and look forward to seeing him a second time around.
Right.
Not tonight. Rummel's had to adjust, or Malcolm Dinas, Rummel base team has had to adjust to 4 different pitchers in as many innings as Gegenheimer goes to work against Ryan and delivers a swing and a miss. Good pitch down. Ryan is flied to deep center, and he's laced a single to left. Slick in the field, as always. Started a double play, made a good play in the hole as well. 0-1 the count. Here's another. And he chased a breaking ball. Really good pitch by Gegenheimer. Fooled Ryan. It's 0-2.
Gegenheimer did a good job of throwing the fastball down in the zone, and he followed it up with a breaking ball in the same spot. And hard to, dusk, the lights are very good, but the dusk, it's hard to pick up that spin.
Breaking ball down. It's 1-2. Tried to get him to chase again. Would not. A ball and 2 strikes. And another 2, Ryan. Down and out, 2-2.
I think one of the things both coaches will talk to their pitchers about, especially during the summer, is getting your sign and going to work. You don't want your fielders out there longer than they have to be.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Gegenheimer delivers, and that's outside. So it's 0-2 to 3-2 with Centenni on deck.
That's a pitch that many hitters would swing at. Mike realized was off the plate.
And the payoff pitch, ball 4. So Ryan works the count after being down 0-2 and draws a leadoff walk. Said that a lot in this game, and now Centenni, who hit a 2-run homer in the first and drove in a run with a fielder's choice grounder in the second, and he's also stolen a base. So he's got a 3 RBI game and a stolen base to his credit. Hit 6 home runs during the prep season. Runner at first. Going. Pitch is fouled back. It's 0-1. So a little hit and run here.
Centenni let the ball get deep. He was trying to take the ball to the right side behind the runner. He was able to just foul it off. Tremendous jump by Ryan at first base as well.
Centenni hits out of a closed stance. Throw to first, Ryan back. Malcolm Dinas has stolen 3 bases already in as many innings. And the pitch. And has a long one to left. He has crushed this one. It's a 2-home run night for Red Centenni. I think I said he was the best power hitter in this league. He's one of the best power hitters, period, that you're going to find. That ball was absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, the ball was down on the inner half of the plate, and he got his barrel to it and went right through it and hit it way out the park.
Have a game, Red Centenni. 2 homers, 5 RBIs, and we're in the 4th inning. Good-looking player.
Absolutely.
So it's now a 7-1 lead, and the batter will be Shane Hurstius. Bats with nobody out. He's reached on an error, and he's popped out. First one on the way. Bounced it, 1-0. Gegenheimer ready. Here's another. Hurstius hits it hard. Fair ball. Inside the bag at third. He's got a base hit. So Hurstius is on for the second time with a single here. Still nobody out. Hit that ball hard past the diving effort of Andrade at third.
It's the second ball he's hit hard down the third base line.
Here is Gavin Nix. He's grounded to short and struck out. The pitch. Breaking ball. That drops in there for a strike call.
Looked like he crossed up the
He
catcher.
did. No question. You could see that by the catcher's reaction, stabbing at the ball. Goes to the mound, making sure they've got the signals right. What do you think about pitch comm? You know, we see that in the majors. And yesterday they had a game with St. Louis and San Diego where it malfunctioned like about 5 times.
Well, and
it stopped the game. And the whole purpose of it is to create
speed up,
moving the game forward. So is that really working?
Well, I saw in the LSU game that the catcher kept looking in the dugout with his arms out, and obviously it wasn't working correctly. I mean, I don't know a lot about the technology. It just seems to me that the way that a lot of guys do it, they flash the numbers or they touch signs, and a lot of the high school guys around here do it rather quickly. You know, they get the sign to the catcher rather quickly.
Went down and fished for that ball and taps it foul, and it's 0-2.
And, of course, I've seen teams, you know, that the catcher calls the game. So that absolutely goes quicker, you know. There's no looking in the dugout and so on and so forth.
No balls and 2 strikes on Nix, who's 0 for 2 in the game.
Now, the other thing at night, a lot of times.
And a swing and a ground ball to first. The play to second. Well thrown there. Back to first, not in time. Still a good job by Chauvin. Now there's a guy that had the throwing lane, just to compare and contrast from earlier. And he made a strong, accurate throw to get the lead runner.
And he was playing in front of the runner and gave him an open lane. Whereas earlier, the Rummel first baseman was playing right on the backside of the runner, and he didn't create a lane for himself to throw it.
Now Anthony Mooney, who's walked and scored and struck out, with Nix at first and 1 out here in the 4th inning. Breaking ball down, 1-0. Nix again leads from first. And he swung at a pitch in the dirt. Runner breaks for second. Throw down is not in time. So Nix takes second base on the pitch in the dirt. A down read has to be a wild pitch. Maybe the 4th wild pitch of the game by Holy Cross pitching. And a runner at second base, Nix, with 1 out and a chance for Mooney to drive in a run. Ground ball down the third base side is foul. Just yanked it out in front, trying to get it just inside the bag, but it's foul by about 1.5 feet, 2 feet. And a count 1-2. Anthony will get back in. With a count of 1 ball, 2 strikes. With Nix at second base and 1 out. And the pitch on the way. Swinging a line drive, base hit, left center field. That will score another run. Mooney rips that ball. Left fielder bobbles. Mooney hustling all the way. Will take second. It's good base running by Mooney. Now, he was full speed from the time he made contact. And that's why he takes second. Didn't assume anything. And that's a lesson right there. Good base running by Mooney, who gets the RBI. It's 8-1. You like seeing that as a coach?
No doubt. You want it, again, in baseball, get off of first if you're on offense, and if you're on defense, keep them at first. So keep the double play in order. He did a good job. The ball was hitting in the left center field gap, and he was going whether the left fielder hold it or not, and he bobbled it, made a good throw. He beat the throw.
Yeah, he takes second on the error by the left fielder. He didn't handle it cleanly. RBI for Mooney, and there's a breaking ball just missing to Averard, who's doubled home a run and grounded to third. Now 8-1, Malcolm Danis. Fastball, that's a strike called. So the count even at 1-1.
Casey would like to have that pitch.
Yeah, I think that's a pitch you want to hit right there. 1-1 the count.
Showed the frustration when it passed him by.
You get that straight one in the strike zone, you want to be hacking at that. It's those crooked ones you don't like seeing unless they do nothing. That is over but low. So it's 2-1.
One of the things about this game, both teams have swung at strikes. They've stayed in the strike zone. They've not expanded. Even with 2 strikes, they've stayed in it, and gives you a really good chance to put the barrel on the ball.
2 balls and a strike. And another pitch on the way. Fastball popped up straight up right back here, and it is going to be up toward the netting and up against the netting. As it just got over the net to the stands. I mean, just climbed over. Catcher took a look, but just ran out of room, and it's 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes on Averard. With Mooney at second and 1 out. 3 runs home here in the 4th for Malcolm Dinas with an 8-1 lead over Ponsteins. Averard waiting for the 2-2. Here it comes. Breaking ball in the dirt. Nice block by Brodnax, and it's full 3-2. Brodnax has had to do a lot of that in this game.
Yes. And that's big with runners on base to block the ball and keep it in front of you. Now, that ball's deep behind the plate, so it's difficult for the runner to break from second. But you still have to block it up. If you don't, obviously, then he will be able to advance.
On 3-2, the payoff pitch, ball 4. Averard's on for the second time. And it's 2 men on and 1 man out, and Ruben Ramirez to the plate, catcher to the mound. Looking over at the dugout. Ramirez has grounded this short. He's walked and stolen 2 bases. As he'll stride to the plate. And now catcher back behind the plate. And ready to go. Here's Ramirez with 2 on, 1 out. And the pitch to Ruben. Taken just down for ball 1. I think the strike zone has been a little tight here this evening overall.
Yeah.
Consistent, but tight.
Correct. And tight down.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Has a hard hit ball in a left field spanked. Left fielder can't get it. A base hit. Bases will end up loaded. So bases loaded with 1 out. Left fielder's saying he caught the ball.
But the
umpire said no.
Immediately said no.
No, he did not catch it. I mean, you just watch the umpire in that situation. He immediately gave the no catch signal, or safe signal, if you will, and the base is loaded. That ball was hit hard by Ramirez. So now the base is loaded with 1 out for Lenny Klein, the catcher, and a visit to the mound coming. Well, I'll say this. Ryan Camlade's a Holy Cross guy, graduated from Holy Cross, loves the school. He's done an excellent job here. Of course, his father was a wonderful man and a great friend, Bruce Camlade, who just served this school in incredible fashion over an extended period of time. We lost him not too long ago. It was a very sad day. And a guy that I just absolutely admired. And I wrote a story about him and just, again, thought that strongly about the man. He was awesome for this school. Ryan is a guy who loves this school and has done a great job here as well. He's the interim head coach, and we wait to see what decision is going to be made about the future of the Holy Cross program, which, of course, was coached by Andy Cannizzaro until the playoffs this past season. Wish Andy nothing but great success moving forward as well. And a new pitcher will be a left-hander, and that's Jay Disler. Disler, at 6 feet, 165, a sophomore. So Disler taking his warm-up tosses, becomes the 5th pitcher of the game.
One thing about both these staffs, the Holy Cross staff are all Holy Cross graduates.
Mm-hmm.
and 3 of the 4 for the Rummel staff is Rummel graduates. It's great in the Catholic League that the guys come back to the school that they went to school at and continue to do things that they learned when they were there. And Frank put together a tremendous staff with Doug, Kevin, and those guys are all Rummel graduates, and then of course Holy Cross with the 3 Holy Cross graduates. I think it's not like that in other parts of the state,
No, I think it obviously means a lot
Yes.
to those individuals because the schools run very, very deep in their beings because of how much time they spent at the school, how much they care about the school. And in a perfect world, you love having those kind of guys or ladies at your school in those positions. You don't force feed it by any stretch of the imagination. Anytime you can, and it's an opportunity, you try to do that. So that's been the case for many years in many of these institutions. And, of course, Frank Cazzo was a fine pitcher at Rummel. David Beaudry was Archbishop Rummel guy who coached there as a head coach and did a great job for many years as well. And, of course, the legend at Rummel was Larry Schneider, who did an incredible job. Was not a Rummel graduate. He's a Jesuit graduate.
Correct.
And Larry did an incredible job at that school for, 24 years maybe, something of that nature.
One of the highlights of my time at Rummel was getting to sit with Coach Schneider and eat lunch and talk about baseball and athletics in general. He's just a wealth of information and always, very kind to share his thoughts and feelings about things, and he was a great help to me.
Yeah, just an awesome coach, great guy, and architect of this incredible program that's been continued on. Of course, you mentioned Kevin Johnson and Doug Neal.
Kevin Johnson's a De La Salle graduate. He is not a
Rummel graduate, no.
And, of course, Chip
Benora.
Benora is a Holy Cross graduate.
Right. Well, it's amazing. You got Brett Benora on one side, Chip Benora on the other, on these staffs, which is hilarious. And they were talking earlier, good people. Great family.
Absolutely.
As a fast strike, it's 0-1. Good pitch to Klein, who has singled and walked. He scored a run.
I got to kind of watch him grow up. After Katrina, they actually stayed in Metairie at my mom's house while their house in Chalmette was being rebuilt. Tremendous family. Kenny, Sandy, and their 3 kids are great.
Popped him up into right. That's not deep enough. Second baseman out. Has a play. Infield fly rule, and the right fielder drops it, but it's an infield fly rule. So batter's out, 2 gone. So out number 2 as Klein retired. And you can explain that to the viewers. The infield fly rule is on there.
The second baseman was under it, so the umpire called infield fly, so the batter's automatically out. At the last moment, the right fielder called him off. And the second baseman moved, and the outfielder didn't catch it. However, because it's an infield fly, the batter is out. And the runners can move, but at their own risk.
So bases loaded, 2 outs for Berg, and he swings and pops it up. So it's a great job by Disler. He'll get out of it. Making the catch, Chauvin. That was a chance to put this game away for Malcolm Dinas, and Disler says, no way, I'm not letting that happen. Comes in and gets 2 pop-outs in the inning, 3 runs across the plate for Malcolm Dinas. It happens on 4 hits with an error, and they strand 3. Now that's 8 men left in 4 innings for Malcolm Dinas. We head to the bottom of the 4th, and it's 8-1 as Malcolm Dinas leads Ponsteins in this one. And with that, we have an opportunity to remind you that today's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by Gibbs Construction, a leader in the construction industry in Louisiana and the Gulf Coast for more than 45 years, transforming dreams, visions, and plans into reality. Gibbs Construction. Well, you stick with that theme of graduates. Of course, Rummel is run by Mark Milano, a graduate of Archbishop Rummel, class of 1990, and the athletic director is Jay Roth, legend at Rummel, and class of 1981 at Rummel. But you flip the script to Holy Cross, and I mentioned Ryan Camlade, Brett Benora, both Holy Cross graduates, 2004, 2010. You got Lou Wineski, Holy Cross class of 1977, and you've got Eric DeSormo, class of 1995, the principal of the school. So the ties run really deep with the legacies of these schools that are in very influential positions.
Absolutely. And it's one thing that keeps the tradition alive, although they're deep, rich traditions in each of the schools. But when you bring back guys to coach and teach who went to the school. They're going to talk about their time here and the things that they did and the things they loved about the school. It's really special.
We'll get a new pitcher for the Malcolm Denis team here in the fourth inning. It looks like Mason Scholl is going to come on to pitch in the fourth inning. So Schmidt is done after 3 innings. And Schmidt only allowed 1 hit. The problem for Schmidt was command. He walked 4 and hit a batter, but he only gave up 1 run while he was out there and was able to strike out 3. And now we get Mason Scholl to become the second pitcher of the game for Malcolm Denis. And here in the fourth inning, the right-hander will work to Broadnax, Sirkovich, and Blanchard. Mason Scholl, sophomore, 5'7", 150. Again, these very young programs we keep talking about. And you're not going to hear any seniors anyway because no one in the summer league will be playing seniors.
No, I know there's Gibbs Construction and American Legion with Coach Ream. You know, he has a bunch of guys who graduated either this past May or the previous May because American Legion is 19 and under. This league is only for returners.
First pitch is a good one, a strike called. It's 0-1 as he gets ahead. Does Scholl. Sign given, and here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball down and out. So it's even up at 1-1 on the catcher Broadnax, who's been hit by a pitch and is only at bat of the game. Ball and a strike. And the next one is on the way. Breaking ball, pretty good pitch. But again, this has been a tight zone. And that's a really good-looking pitch from Scholl. Called a ball, and it's 2-1. Here's the 2-1. Good pitch again, swing and a miss. Stayed out a portion, got the swing, and it's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, and another. Sits high, it's full 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the payoff pitch from Scholl. Fastball foul back. That's what happens when it hits the bricks right there.
Yeah.
See where that ball ended up? Full 3-2. The idiosyncrasies of different ballparks. And we've seen a bunch. We've done a ton of games this year, and it's just a different deal wherever you go.
Well, and the other thing is how much foul ground. Foul ground is a pitcher's friend if you can cover it and catch pop-ups. They were talking about that today about Southern Mrs. Field.
Breaking ball struck him out. Scholl's got a sharp breaking ball. That's out number 1.
Yeah, it's more of a slurve, and he actually thrown it well 3 times into that hitter. But talking about the foul ground, you know, that saves pitches, and if you can cover it, you know, get to the pop-ups. Really pitcher's friend.
Sirkovich bats. That's up for a ball. One ball, no strikes. And the next one on the way from Scholl. Swinging a little looper foul, right side. First baseman makes an excellent play. That's a tough chance for Centenni. Basket-type catch going away from him toward the fence. A lot to deal with there. He made a really fine play, 2 outs.
That was a very, very good play. Not an easy play at all going towards the fence.
And now Blanchard will bat. Grounded in the 6-4-3 double play. Back in the second inning. In from the right side. And the pitch is a good breaking ball. This is easily the best breaking ball we've seen from any of the hurlers tonight.
Correct. And it's a little sharp breaker. He throws it down in the zone, and it stays in the strike zone. Very, very difficult on hitters.
0-1 pitch. There it is again, but this is lined to the shortstop, caught by Ryan. So there's your first 1-2-3 inning of the evening. Scholl gets them in order, and we're on to the 5th, and it remains an 8-1 lead for Malcolm Dinas over Ponsteins. So pretty good stuff from Mason Scholl there, Dave.
Absolutely. They kept the ball down through both fastballs and breaking balls for strikes, and that's the kind of inning you want, especially after loading the bases in the last half and have an opportunity to blow the game wide open. Get your hitters back up, in quick time.
So we go to the 5th inning now in a 8-1 game. Disler will go back to the mound. He did a great job to get out of a massive jam last inning. That could have been ruination.
Yeah, a lefty matchup, first lefty that Holy Cross has thrown. It always takes time for the hitters to adjust themselves to that, and he did a great job of keeping the ball out of half and inducing 2 pop-ups. Guys jumping on their front foot and not really keeping their hands back to be able to drive the ball.
So Disler back to work here in the 5th inning, and we'll have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up. Brian, Centenni, and Hurstius for Malcolm Dinas.
Outside the league today, the Hornville Tigers defeated Terrebonne 9-4. They open up league play on Thursday versus Rummel at Rummel. Talentario had a big 2 RBI double, as well as Ryan Gregson had a 2 RBI double, and the Tigers used 7 pitchers to limit the Terrebonne Tigers during the game.
Good start for Hunville.
Yep.
Again, part of this league, as we had mentioned earlier, and if you want to see all the teams in the league, we'll have updates every day at CrescentCitySports.com. We hope to have you watching our game of the week each week to go along with watching our coverage following it every day, because this league includes Archbishop Rummel, Archbishop Shaw, Ascension Catholic, Brother Martin, Chalmette, De La Salle, Hunville, Holy Cross, Jesuit, John Curtis Christian, Lakeshore, Lutcher, Newman, North Shore, St. Charles Catholic, and St. Paul's. First pitch missing away to Ryan, 1-0.
It's a list of a lot of outstanding programs.
Ryan is flying out to deep center, singled, and he's also walked and scored. And the 1-0 pitch is high, so 2-0 to Ryan. Mikey back in. Disler with the 2-0 pitch. Got the delayed strike call of the knees, 2-1.
Quite a few teams from this area going to a tournament in Hattiesburg this weekend, and they got the call yesterday, obviously, that Southern Miss is hosting the regional, so they won't be playing there, and then the LSU Tigers are coming, so I got to believe that hotel rooms might be at a premium.
It'd be a problem. 3-1 now to Ryan.
And not to mention the watering holes may be kind of filled up during the weekend. Hattiesburg is a tremendous town. Been up there many times with my son graduating in May. It's a good baseball town. They have
popped him up. So 3 straight pop-ups obtained by Disler. Who wants this one? The right fielder. And making the catch, Sirkovich for the out. 1 gone. So this left-hander very effective thus far. Now Centenni, the star of the night. Ripped a 2-run homer in the first. Drove home a run with the fielder's choice in the second. And walloped a 2-run homer a long way in the 4th inning.
The lefty will try to keep the ball away from him and make him hit the ball to the other field, because he's really laid into 2 of them to the pull side.
Pitch on the way. Good breaking ball, strike called. No balls and a strike.
It does look like stars, you're right. There are no stars.
Here it comes. High and away, 1-1.
Rhett doesn't do a lot of movement in the box, so he'll be able to maybe adjust a little bit better to, the velocity of the pitcher and the fact that he is trying to work away from him. he's not jumping out on his front foot, staying balanced and keeping his barrel in a good launch position.
Ball and a strike with another on the way. Smash to left base hit. He can hit.
Yes, he can.
Centenni's on with his third hit of the game.
And in none of the swings he's taken, even in the ball that he hit way out last inning, is he just does what he can to get the barrel to the ball. He doesn't overswing, doesn't try to do too much, and he has enough bat speed to obviously drive the ball a long way and hit the ball very hard on that ground ball base hit.
Here's Hurstius, who has a base hit. He's also reached on an error, scored a run. He's 1 for 3. Pitch from Disler in the dirt. Nice block once more by Broadnax. But ball and no strikes.
Looks like we had a change behind the plate. It's Garrett's.
So Garrett's behind the plate now rather than Broadnax. 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch on the way. That just missed away, and it's 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Favorable count for Hurstius. And the 2-0 pitch. Miss high, I guess, 3-0. Again, that high strike not being called all night. Hurstius, his highlight this season had to be the fact that over at St. Paul's he homered off of Cade Anderson before Anderson unfortunately got injured.
Yes.
3-0 the count.
That's something he'll always remember.
You think? Here it comes. That's in the dirt. So ball 4. And runners will be at first and second with 1 out.
Well, I was reminded of a young man that we played against several years ago. Yesterday was Josh Smith, who played at Catholic High, and we played him in his senior year in a 2 out of 3, and we got him some and he got us some. But it was great to see him. Yesterday get an opportunity to major league level and have a 3-hit day. Kind of hard to keep that up, though. So.
Well, guess who saw him in person last night?
You did.
Yeah, sure did. I was there at Globe Life Field. And to see him get that first hit, the whole place rose, which was really nice. There's a ground ball to first on a tough hop. He let it play in. And the runner will reach. That ball, when you see that high hop, you've got to come get that, right? You can't let that hit the ground again.
Yeah, and the pitcher needs to get over there and cover because they might have had a chance when the ball ricocheted to the second baseman. That's just, again, early in the summer, you're going to have things like that. You just have to go back over it. In the prep season, you might come back tomorrow and practice it, but sometimes just going back over it. All these guys have played a lot of baseball during the year.
Yep.
So they just need to be reminded.
What's the third error of the game against Ponsteins? And now Anthony Mooney, who lined an RBI single in the 4th. He's also walked and scored 1 for 2. And he sent a really good cut at that pitch. Fouled it back with the bases loaded. It's 0-1. He had a good rip trying to attack that first pitch. Peck's Seafood beat Ascension Catholic 17-7 in 5 innings. It's Brady Benoit's team in North Shore. 0-1 the count. Here it comes. Breaking ball strike. Slow curveball.
Brady also had a very young team. We played him early in March, and he's got a couple of very, very good freshmen who are going to just be great players. And, of course, North Shore, as we saw 2 weeks ago, a bunch of guys that play for Joe. And, of course, Braden Joe Bear, who's at LSU now, who's with Joe. They've had a good run of great players.
Now the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, missed the outside edge. 1-2. So a ball and 2 strikes.
That was a nice pitch.
Again, it's been a tight zone throughout, and it really has. Might have been just off the plate and it surrounded the plate. Catcher did a good job of receiving it.
Yes. And the umpires stayed consistent, and that's what you ask for.
Still 1-2. Didn't chase the breaking ball, and it's 2-2.
That's where you want it. You want to keep that breaking ball down.
2 balls and 2 strikes. And another on the way from Disler. Look out, up and in. It's full 3-2. So nowhere to put him with bases loaded, 1 out. Big pitch here coming. For obvious reasons, with the 7-run lead in the 5th inning. And the bases loaded, Mooney waits with 1 out. And the payoff pitch from the left-hander. And he got him looking, 2 outs. Fastball got him for out number 2. Got to be looking to drive the ball there, right?
That was a good pitch. With 2 strikes, you can't take that.
Here's Everard, who's doubled home a run and walked. He's 1 for 2. Pitch is on the way. Breaking ball just missed, 1-0. On a horizontal movement there.
Yeah, that's very effective coming from the left side against right-handed hitters.
1 ball and no strikes with bases loaded, 2 outs, and the pitch on the way. That's way high, so 2-0 to Everard.
And obviously left-handers against right-handed hitters, it's a very tough matchup because the ball runs away from the right-hander. You just see in every level of baseball, left-handers are very, very valuable. Even in the major league level, to come in and get right-handed hitters out.
And here's the 2-0 pitch. That's way inside and high, so 3-0. Everard likely to take a pitch here. Malcolm Dinas has had runners all over the bases in this game. Even though they've scored 8, they've stranded 8 so far. They got the bases loaded here with 2 outs. And Everard took a strike. It's 3-1.
Well, I think a lot of fans, that was a good pitch. Why didn't he swing at it? Well, the pitcher's got to do it 2 more times.
Sure, it's 3-0.
It's 3-0, and you have bases loaded. A walk's as good as anything here. Driving a run, let the next hitter, drive in on the runs.
And the 3-1 pitch, that's ball 4, so a Rummel score. Everard gets his second RBI. A bases loaded walk, and it's 9-1 as Centenni crosses the plate. Runners move up to second and third as well.
Of course, that's the team aspect of offensive baseball. If I don't get to hit, I'll walk, I drive in a run, and it's now up to the next guy. If I strike out, it's up to the next guy. It's part of being a good teammate.
Ramirez bats. Here's the pitch to Ruben. That is high. Ruben is singled. He's walked. He's stolen 2 bases. He's 1 for 2. 9-1 lead now for Malcolm Dinas. And here's the 1-0 pitch. A little roller toward the short. This is tough. Too much speed. Shortstop will never get Ramirez. Run scores. Runner holds at third, so it's going to be an RBI single. An infield hit for Ramirez. With his speed, he puts it on the ground. He's got a chance. He gets an RBI, and it's 10-1.
Yeah, he was well ahead of that throw. Motoring down the line.
So Ramirez with his second hit gets an RBI to make it a 10-1 game. And the base is loaded still with 2 outs. And Lenny Klein sheds the gear and ready to go to work here. He's singled, scored, he's walked and popped out. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Klein. Pitch on the way to Lenny. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
Man, that fastball away from him was a good pitch.
No balls and a strike. And another. Popped him foul, out of play. It's 0-2. 8th batter to hit in the inning. And if you're Frank Cazzo, you're thinking, I'd like to get another run across here and possibly have a chance to end it, but it's 0-2 now on Klein. 10-run rule in effect after 5 innings. No balls, 2 strikes. And another on the way. Breaking ball high. So it's 1-2.
He hasn't called that a strike, and nor is it a strike, really. It starts up at the shoulders.
Ball and 2 strikes. And another on the way. Popped him up right side. Should end the inning. Second baseman with a play. And there to put it away. It's Blanchard. So the inning over. 8 men bat in the inning. And 2 runs cross the plate. And it happens on a couple of hits with an error. 3 more stranded. So that's now 11 left on base in 5 innings for Malcolm Dinas, and still leading at 10-1. As we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. So what could have been versus what is, it's a lot on both sides for Malcolm Dinas in this game. And today's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner. Lamarck Lincoln is the only Lincoln Black Label dealership in the market. It's more than ownership, it's membership. Must be a reason. Mason Scholl will head back to the mound for Malcolm Dinas as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning with the Rummel-based team on top 10-1 over Ponsteins. Scholl looked good. He had a 1-2-3 inning in the 4th.
Able to throw both his fastball and breaking ball for strikes. He really probably was up around 80-85% strikes in the inning. That's why he went 1-2-3.
Take his warm-up tosses. He's got the top of the order to face him. Forstall, Pellegrin, and Chauvin will bat here against him in the 5th. Scheduled for 7 innings.
If you're a baseball fan and around in Louisiana with this, the NCAA regionals beginning, with the 4 teams, this league beginning, Legion beginning, and of course the travel ball tournaments.
Travel ball teams do, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's like this is. You can definitely get your fill of baseball.
Well, sure. Aside from summer league games once a week on Tuesdays, we plan on having a couple of Legion games for you here on Crescent City Sports, and also plan on having a travel ball game or 2 as well. We're trying to get that done as early as this weekend. So all that in play, and we're sure looking forward to bringing it to you, as we always try to bring as much as we possibly can and spread the wealth here at CrescentCitySports.com. Forstall leads it off. He's batted twice. He's walked twice. In from the left side. First pitch on the way is that pitch over the plate called a ball. It's been a ball all day. Had the letters, right? 1-0 the count.
Give him credit. He's consistent.
He has been. Just tight. And
yes.
It just makes the game play a little slower, right?
Right.
1-0 the count. Makes it hard on pitchers. The pitch. That is a strike, and it's 1-1.
I know this, though. The strike zones in today's game are much larger than they were back when I first began. And I'm not saying pitches were better. They just had to,
Breaking ball, good pitch, strike call. This kid's got a good breaking ball.
He does. But you had to throw the ball over the plate, down below the waist, for it to be a strike in the New Orleans area. And pitchers did it, Now
the 1-2 pitch. He didn't chase that good breaking ball, and it's 2-2. That's a good 1-2 pitch, though.
Very much so.
Snapping it toward the hitter and down. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sign given, and here is the 2-2 pitch. Missed inside, so it's full 3-2. Been that kind of at-bat for Forstall every time in this game. He's walked his first 2 times on a 3-1 pitch and on a 3-2 pitch. He's 3-2 again. Exactly what you want from a leadoff hitter.
Absolutely.
And Scholl is ready with a payoff pitch. Foul back, and he battles.
Yep.
And we'll see another pitch. Love seeing that from Forstall, the sophomore.
A lot of times you're the third base coach, just yell, win another pitch, be able to get many looks at it as possible and hopefully be able to hit a mistake.
Another 3-2 pitch and another walk. So 3 straight bats and 3 straight walks for Forstall. And again, another leadoff walk. That's 4 times that Malcolm Dinas has walked the leadoff man. They've only given up 1 run because they've only yielded 1 hit.
And they've played outstanding defense as well.
Here is Pellegrin, who singled and popped out. Good lead by Forstall. Pitch from Scholl. Swing and a miss. The bat goes flying. And it's 0-1. Lost the handle of the handle, if you will.
Yep.
No balls and a strike. And another breaking ball in the dirt. Nice pick by Klein right there. What I love there is he shifted his weight beautifully. Look where he ended up fielding that ball. It's really well done.
Very much so. And it's so important not to give up those extra bases.
Ball and a strike.
And, of course, down 10-1 Holy Cross.
Runner goes. Pitch is a strike. The throw down is not going to be there. Hits the runner. Runner's going to go to third. That'll be a throwing error. So Forstall swipes second and gets to third on the error. And he's there with nobody out.
I was just about to say they're going to play close to the vest.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, you got
but they
this is summer ball.
Yeah,
so.
right. Summer ball, you're working on things, you know. He got a good jump.
Second error of the game for Malcolm Dina's team. And now runner third, nobody out. And a 1-2 pitch. And he went around on a breaking ball. He's gone. And he's tagged out as well. So that's out number 1. That's that sharp breaking ball. Again, ahead in the count. That's when that pitch is really effective.
Very much so. And he keeps it down. You know, it's not hanging. It's sharp and it's down in the zone. Makes it very difficult on hitters.
And the first pitch, good snapper for a strike. Again, that hook, 0-1. Scholl will definitely figure in Rummel's pitching plans based on what I've seen tonight.
Absolutely.
When you got that kind of breaking ball, it's a weapon. 0-1 the count.
And able to throw strikes.
Yeah, he's commanded it very well.
Yes.
There it is again. And there's another strike called, and it's 0-2.
Coach Cazzo's fallen in love with this pitch.
Chauvin has struck out and walked. Why not?
No.
When you see him executing it the way it is, see if he triples up on it. Time call by the hitter.
And the other thing is you want your pitcher to be able to throw it with a runner at third and not worry about bouncing it. You know, getting it down in the zone, but not bouncing it to allow that runner to advance on a wild pitch or a pass ball.
0-2. Fastball away. Showed him that pitch, 1-2. What I mean by that is just set up pitch for the next one. Now you got to believe he's coming back with that breaking ball.
Yep.
1-2 the count. Try to change the hitter's thought process. And here it comes. And this fastball fouled. So he stayed with the heater. Got a late swing, but staying alive is Chauvin at 1-2.
And, of course, with a 1-2 count and he's seen 2 breaking balls and 2 fastballs, he shouldn't be guessing. He just needs to react to the pitch, but he does not know what's coming. Either pitch is in play for the 1-2 pitch.
Again, the difference in being ahead in the count or being behind in the count. It's
No
massive. Here it comes. Breaking ball, but that's way outside, 2-2. Kind of got on the side of that one. You can see in his release point.
Yeah, that was a little different than the other 2.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner third, 1 out. Scholl obtaining the sign is ready with the 2-2 pitch. Look out. Now, the last 2 breaking balls he's gotten under, and the result is obvious, and it's full 3-2. Maybe we'll put the mouth on him, right?
Yep, probably. So. That's probably in play for that, no doubt.
So 3-2 the count. Scholl, deep breath, will stretch. And the payoff pitch. Fastball popped him up, foul. That'll be out of play. Lands behind us, and it holds at 3-2.
I know Coach Cazzo for years. If it was a 3-2 count and a Raider was on the mound when I coached against him, he was throwing a breaking ball if he had it. So
Once more, the 3-2 pitch from Scholl. And a swing and a foul. Quite an at-bat.
Yep.
Quite an at-bat indeed. He'll see the 9th pitch of the at-bat here. This is the best at-bat of the game on either side. Chauvin waits. Scholl with another 3-2. And a swing and a pop-up. It's on the infield. Who wants it? The catcher, Klein.
Oh.
And he basket caught it for the out. That's tough for a catcher right there. He ends up making a catch right in front of the plate.
Yeah, that's not exactly how you want to make that play, but he did a good job of staying under. But you want to turn your back to the infield because the ball is going to run back away from you.
Right. He found it, and he caught it.
He did.
That's out number 2. Bugs are having a good time here. And now the batter is Mason Smith, who struck out twice. Want to know the count? And a swing and a foul as Jeffrey Lewis is the hitter. So Lewis hitting in the place of Smith. Jeffrey Lewis, 5'8", 145-pound sophomore. Saw him during the prep season as well. Jeffrey getting an opportunity here. One pitch, way high, 2-1. Two balls and a strike on Jeffrey Lewis. And now the 2-1. That's a strike called at the knees, 2-2. And he's called that pitch all night.
Yep.
It's the one he likes. Knees to the belt. 2-2 the count. Scholl from the stretch with a 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball missed away, so it's full 3-2. Three balls and 2 strikes. Runner waits at third with his lead in foul territory. Forstall. Scholl with another 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball missed low. Good at bat. And a walk for Lewis. He's on with two outs. So it's runners at the corners with 2 outs. And we'll get another different hitter here for Holy Cross or Ponsteins. It's going to be number 10, Brooks Bell, who's going to get the opportunity to hit. So Bell comes on. Left-handed hitter Brooks Bell. With 2 on, 2 outs. So Bell with a good cut, but it's 0-1. Long look, and the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball, it's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Runners lead. And the 0-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Scholl, with his second strikeout of the inning, his third of the game, gets out of it. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and 2 stranded. That's now 7 left in the game for Ponsteins. We've played 5, and it remains a 10-1 lead for Malcolm Dinas. Ken Trahan, Dave Beaudry here. Matt Merritt, Chip Merritt taking care of business on the Crescent City Sports side here this evening, and we always appreciate the fine work that they do. And now in the 6th inning, looks like Will Andrade's going to take to the mound here to become their 6th pitcher of the game. So Andrade heading out there. Disler was the 5th pitcher as he departs. Went 1 2/3 innings. Gave up 2 hits. And a couple of runs. I was out there, but those runs were unearned. Again, the error really hurt them. Walked a couple. And struck out 1. And now Andrade takes over to become the 6th pitcher of the game for Ponsteins. A little bit of a different look here between the two approaches tonight. 6 pitchers on one side and 2 on the other. It's all about what your plan is in development.
And how many games you have coming up. And
True. Combination of factors and doing what's right for your team as we go to the 6th year. It's 10 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors, and 11 left for Malcolm Dinas. And it's 1 run, 1 hit, 3 errors, and 7 left for Ponsteins. A lot of runners left on base in this game on both sides.
When early in the season, early in the summer like this, you're going to have maybe guys on base, runners on base trying to do too much. But overall, the pitchers have made better pitchers with men on base than prior to that. So.
Mm-hmm. So we're ready to go here in the 6th inning. And Evan Berg leads it off. He's walked twice, scored a run. He's 0 for 2. And now catcher wants to talk to pitcher. Colton Garrett's going to do just that. And now quickly back behind the plate. Andrade's first pitch sits high to Berg. This game over 2 hours old now. Had just 1 inning where the batters were retired in order on either side. That's high, and it's 2-0.
The ability of pitches to command the zone has been the biggest problem.
Yeah, that will make for a longer game when you have that many base runners.
Yep.
2-0. That's right down the middle, 2-1. Two balls and a strike. And the next one to Berg is high, and it's 3-1. Andrade again, the 6th pitcher of the game. We'll bring the 3-1 pitch and a swing and a fly ball. Hit pretty well to left. Left fielder is back. He's got a play and makes the catch. A few feet short of the wall, making the catch for Smith for out number 1. Berg got under it a little bit. Very good contact. Here's Ryan. Singled and walked, scored a run. He is 1 for 3. Flied out to deep center and popped to right. First one on the way. That's a strike. It's 0-1. And the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, strike called. Good one, and it's 0-2. That's the slow curve. 0-2 to Ryan. And a swing and a ground ball to third, and it's booted. Unable to handle it is the third baseman, Chauvin, so that's error number 4. in the game for Pontsteins. Runner aboard, 1 out.
Looked like the ball got in the popped up. It looked like it might have gotten the lights.
So that brings Centenni to the plate, who's had some night. 5 RBIs, 3 for 4 with a pair of 2-run homers. He has a single, and he's had an RBI fielder's choice grounder. Took it high, ball 1. Centenni waiting. Ryan a lead. He can run at first. Here's the pitch. Down, a ball 2-0. Doesn't figure to be running with a 10-1 lead. And the Summer League is about development. You know, you're playing to win. You want to win the game. But it's about development, too. 2 balls and no strikes. Pitch is on the way. And a smash. What a catch. Throw to first, double play. So Centenni hit the daylights out of it. Andrade caught it, and he gets Ryan off of first for a double play the first turn by Pontstein. So that goes 5-3 on the double play. Can't hit the ball any harder than that.
No.
In the inning, no runs, no hits, 1 error, and nobody left for the first time for Malcolm Dinas. Bottom of the 6th inning, and a 10-1 lead for Malcolm Dinas in this one. And Crescent City Sports game tonight is brought to you by our good and great friends at Ochsner Sports Medicine Institute, treating more than 30,000 athletes a year with innovative treatments for sports injuries. Visit ochsner.org/sportsmed to learn more.
Going back to your point about the development, I mean, you try to put kids in as many situations as you possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
You know, continue to evaluate them and see what you need to work on. And the value, it's you know, you can't match it in any way. That's what the purpose of the Summer League is for. And, you know, you want consistent play, but you also want to, you know, kind of develop, get a little better, but know what it is you need to improve on going into next year.
So bottom of the 6th arrives, and it's a 10-1 lead. And we'll get a new pitcher here in Coleman Capacey, the sophomore, 5'11", 160-pound sophomore. Well, Capacey had some appearances. He's got a very good arm. It's all about command for him. He struggled with command. But he's got one of the better arms that they have in that school right now. He's a sophomore. He has a good breaking ball, sharp-moving breaking ball, and he's got a good fastball. It's all about command for Capacey, and he gets an opportunity here. Good job by Scholl, by the way, huh? 2 innings
yes.
of shutout baseball with no hits allowed. Did walk a couple, but he struck out 3. Gave up no runs.
But for him, for Scholl, it was a great outing because he was able to continually throw the breaking ball, be more, you know, have more confidence in it, and obviously it's a really good pitch, and he can complement it with a good located fastball. So it was an outstanding outing for him.
So Capacey takes over. First pitch, fastball. There's that good heater, and it's a strike call. Pretty good velocity.
Yes.
As he gets ahead of Andrade, 0-1. Andrade now the pitcher. And the next one from Capacey. Fastball sails high and away, 1-1.
The difference between the 2 pitches, he tried to overthrow that one. Just the first one, he was nice and smooth, rhythmic delivery. That.
Now the 1-1 pitch. That one sailed away as well, 2-1. Again, with Capacey, it's all about command. You know, a coach wants to use a pitcher, but has to be able to trust him to throw strikes consistently, and that's what they're looking for from him because he's got a real good ability. There's that low strike not called. It's 3-1. Usually around the knees, we've seen that pitch called in this one.
Might have been a little bit too far outside.
Could have been. 3-1 now on Andrade. And the next pitch on the way. Sails high. So there's the leadoff walk yet again. That's 5 times in 6 innings they've walked a leadoff man. And they've only given up 1 run because they've only yielded 1 hit in the game.
Right.
It's
and if
usually you do this and you pay a hefty price, and they haven't done that thus far. So another visit to the mound.
But it'll certainly be something that Coach Castle talks about. You want to get ahead of hitters.
Well, this is Capacey's chance to prove or show the coaches that they can trust him in leverage situations during the high school season, which they couldn't do this past season. They had pretty deep pitching anyway. Pitch on the way, and they see that one sails high. You can see the arm. The velocity's there. But again, it's all about being able to command those pitches.
He's rotating himself towards the first base dugout instead of driving his backside to the plate.
Now the 1-0. That's down. He can't find the zone. 2-0. Runner first, nobody out. 2-0 the count. And another pitch. That's a strike. It's 2-1.
Pitcher's strike, too. He threw the ball down on the outer half, an outstanding location.
2-1 the count. Another on the way. And that's outside and low, 3-1. Three balls and 1 strike. And another lookout up and in, ball 4. So trotting to first base is Colton Garrett's. Back-to-back walks with nobody out. And now
I heard you. It's not funny.
This is Aaron Guichard with 2 on, nobody out. The pitch to Aaron, and that's a ball. So, again, as advertised, is struggling to find the zone. Guichard batting for the first time in the spot that Sirkovich was in. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And a little fister toward the right side. Caught by Centenni on the run. Made a good play. He had to go a long way. Round number 1. Got him the swing of the pitch. I'm not sure you didn't want to be taking there, considering.
Down 10-1. 2 walks to start the inning. You certainly don't want weak contact on a ball when you don't have a strike. That's 2 very nice plays on pop-ups by Centenni. He moves his feet very well.
So 2 on, 1 out now. First pitch on the way. Fastball strike called. He gets ahead here. No balls and a strike on Blanchard, who is grounded into a double play and lined out to short. And the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball right through there, 0-2.
Those were 2 outstanding pitches. Really drove his backside to the plate. Kept the ball down in his zone, threw a fastball in on the hands of the hitter, and then come back with a breaking ball.
No balls, 2 strikes. And another on the way. Breaking ball beat on the ground up the middle of short. The play will be to first and stretching Centenni. Good play by Centenni to stretch. He's done everything well in this game, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
So the double play on a 6-3 as Ryan stepped on the bag at second and threw to first. Little high, but Centenni there to flag it. So 2 double plays turned by Malcolm Dinas in this game. And in the inning, no runs on no hits despite the 2 walks to start the inning. No errors and 1 left. And as a result, 8 left now in the game by Pontsteins. We head to the 7th, scheduled for 7, and it's 10-1, the lead for Malcolm Dinas over Pontsteins. And today's coverage on Crescent City Sports brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner. Lamarck Quick Lane services all makes and models, batteries, tests, tires, oil changes, and more. All done quickly while you enjoy some popcorn. Must be a reason. Andrade will go back to the mound to pitch in the 7th inning here. 10-1, Malcolm Dinas on top. Been in control from the start. story of the game is Centenni. I mean, he's looked really good in the field, right?
Yes.
And terrific at the plate.
And Rummel's ability not to get out the strike zone, to be able to get guys on, prior to Centenni and other guys coming up to play. Both teams done a good job of staying in the strike zone.
So here we go with Andrade taking his warm-up tosses here in the 7th. He'll be working to Hurstius, Nixon, Mooney. As Centenni lined out to a double play to end the last half inning. A ball that he hit extremely hard. And we had some rain around the area today, but had a little rain here at the ballpark. They covered the field with tarp, and really not a whole lot of rain here, fortunately. And able to play this game tonight. As mentioned, the weather's turned out to be pretty good.
I know at Hornville they had a lightning delay for quite a while, and they weren't able. I don't believe they were able to play the JV game. They played the varsity game after. It was lightning. It never did kind of drizzle, but it never did really rain hard. Looked like a lot of the stuff was to the north in Kenner.
That's where we were.
Yes.
That's exactly where I'm at. We had flooding, street flooding. I'm trying to get out. Like,
Wow.
what? Crazy.
That summertime pattern.
You just never really know.
No. Well, it can't be worse. Last summer in our area, in the Luling, Booty area, we had, I want to say it was like 19 straight days of thunderstorms. Just come in and rain really hard and then move out, but doesn't do much for a baseball field.
Hurstius took one away for ball 1, 1-0. As a swing and a fly ball to center. Should be handled. Forstall waiting on it. And he puts it away for out number 1. Gavin Nix will bat. He is 0 for 4. He has reached on a fielder's choice and on an error as well. He's been on base a couple of times, despite not having a hit. And the pitch on the way. Away for ball 1. Want to know the count? Down and in, 2-0. Two balls and no strikes. And the 2-0 pitch. Fastball high, 3-0. And now the 3-0. Fastball strike, it's 3-1. So 3-1 now. And he took it high for ball 4. So Nick's aboard with 1 out. And Anthony Mooney will bat. He has an RBI single and a walk. He scored a run. He's 1 for 3 in the game. Here's Anthony. Here's the pitch. Took a strike, 0-1. And the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, and that's, I guess, high, 1-1. That's the one we haven't seen called all night. 1-1 the count.
He definitely will not call out a strike.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's way high. Got away from Andrade. It's 2-1. Mooney back in. Knicks a lead. 2-1 pitch. That's way high again, 3-1. Already seen 10 walks issued by Ponsteins in this game. 3-1 the count. Mooney takes another one high, so make it 11 walks. 2 on, 1 out. So with 1 out here, we're going to get a new hitter for Ponsteins. Brock Bollinger will hit for Everard. So Bollinger, no doubt, will stay in and play third, where he's played some this past prep season. Fine pitcher, of course. Brock Bollinger. Everard was on 3 times, including a double, drove in 2 runs. So he had a good game. 2 on, 1 out. Pitch is on the way. That is a fastball down, I guess, 1-0. Maybe a little outside as well.
I think at this point that's a strike.
I gotta believe, right? It's 10-1 in the 7th. I'm just saying. 1-0 the count.
And people, oh, it's raining.
We're going to have rain coming, and that's not good. 1-0 the count. Pitch is on the way. That's a strike. You call one here, it's 1-1. Umbrellas come up. Ball and a strike. And another. Outside, 2-1. Again, so many base runners, so many walks, slow-moving game. Approaching 2.5 hours here. 2 balls and a strike. Another pitch. And a swing and a little looping line drive in a left center field. That's going to find green space for a base hit. Bases will be loaded with 1 out as Bollinger drops a single in the left. And provides an opportunity for Ruben Ramirez. He's had a good game. 2 hits, a walk, an RBI, 2 stolen bases. Been in the middle of a lot, 2 for 3. Pitch on the way. And that's a fast strike. It's 0-1.
Rummel, even though it's late in the game and they're up 10-1, they're staying with their approach. You know, being very choosy with less than 2 strikes.
That's a strike, and it's 0-2. Maybe shutting computers down here shortly. 0-2 the count. And now the 0-2 pitch, and he struck him out looking. Good pitch. So 3 pitches struck him out, 2 gone. Klein will shed the gear and bat here. He's 1 for 3 with a single. Run scored and a walk. Rain coming down now. A lot of fans have gone underneath or vacated. Some have put umbrellas up. Players are still playing. From the full windup where the base is loaded, here it comes. That's down for ball 1. Oh, wind blowing now, too, which indicates it's blowing the system in.
Yep.
You've already checked the radar
yeah,
out, right?
It's coming right off the lake. It's going to skirt by, but it's going to take a few minutes.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Tap foul. It's 1-1.
No, like, if I have to move the laptop, I have to turn the laptop off. That's my point. Like, moving it to the middle of the table isn't going to help with the cords.
1-1 the count.
I don't make predictions on weather.
No, well, we're going to stay with you as long as we can here. Here's the 1-1. Down and out 2-1 because we're in the elements here, exposed at Tiger Park. Got a little bit of a pup tent cover, but not in a covered press box or anything of that nature. 2-1 the count.
I'm just warning you, like,
And the pitch on the way. And a swing and a pop-up should end the inning. Second baseman out, right fielder on. Right fielder wants it. Right fielder catches it, and the inning is over. So, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 3 more left on base. If this was a close game, the left on base number would be astonishing. 14 left on base for Malcolm Dinas, but on to the bottom of the 7th, 83 outs to win this one, up by the score of 10-1. That's a whole bunch of guys left on base, David.
Yeah, it is.
Now the rain's pouring, so it's really coming down. And if it comes down a little bit harder, we're going to have to stop this, and I think that's going to be the case shortly here. I can't imagine that the umpires will continue.
They pull the tarp.
They are going to pull the tarp. So I got to believe they're going to stop the game at this point. I can't imagine they go any further.
No.
In the summer league game with a 10-1 lead. So we're gonna call it a night here, and we're going to kill it tonight. So 10-1 here, it turns out to be, and we went